Hey, are we on now? Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the Closing Acumen. My name is Henry Peabody. I'd like to welcome you guys. Make your way, get adjusted as we go into one of Liberia's premier show, the Closing Acumen. So make yourself available, guys, as we make it to the Closing Acumen, right? So welcome, guys. Uh, uh, Welcome. Let me get my stream. Welcome, folks. The beginning of the show today, we're going to have for the first 30 minutes, we're going to have the Winfrey Russell team is going to be here. They're going to be here, and we're going to talk about the election that he's running for to be the representative. Uh, so we ask you to stay tuned with us, bear with us. Let me reduce my screen. It's a little bit too large here. All right, yeah, it's a little bit too large. So welcome, guys. Welcome to the Closing Acumen. Matthew Dole is watching from Blackpool County. Welcome, Matthew. Welcome, folks. If you just joining us, we are also live here on Facebook, the Closing Acumen. So as you come and make yourself comfortable, relax, we are on Hot FM, Truth FM, uh, uh, Real TV, and all of that. You name it, guys. Papi Keita, good evening from Dupero. Welcome, Papi. Uh, Welcome, Benjamin Pay, watching from Indiana. Welcome, Benjamin. Welcome, Mr. Pay. As you make yourself comfortable, we'd like to welcome you here. Today is Monday, and it's a lot of things happening in Liberia. We've been following the news. Another issue again in this government. We don't know what's going on with this government, folks. Uh, Abdullah Dolly, uh, Abdullah Dolly, watching from Lofa. Welcome, Miss Dawson. It's always a delight. Sata Dawson, always delight to have you. Alaska Pay. Welcome, guys. Benjamin Pay, yeah, welcome as well. So as you make your way here, guys, we ask that you just hit the share button. We're looking forward for a very exciting show today. Uh, as we dive into issue that is our country. James Coyote is here. Welcome, James. Always good to see you, James. It's a delight to see you. Welcome, guys. As you make your way, we will just bring you some of the happening in Liberia. What's going on? What's going on in Liberia? It's a lot going on. On the weekend, the president was in. I believe it was Grand. I mean Riverside County. The doctor inaugurated a new building for the Supreme Court. So it's a lot going on. We here with the Front Page Africa. It's reporting there's a lot going on in Liberia. Uh, we're just going to bring you some headlines from the Front Page Africa. I like to read Front Page because it is one of Liberia's premier print media. I mean, very good investigative journalism they do at Front Page. So I always want to do that. One of the report that the Front Page is reporting here today is reporting that let me see here. Oh, I kind of lost my stuff. It's reporting about a lot of missteps in the budget. Budget, I understand additional amount was inflated after the budget, I believe, was passed. So I don't know what's going on, folks, but you're gonna hear today. The guys will be joining us shortly. I'm just preparing the table. But the front page Africa is reporting that they called the fleecing of Liberia, how lawmakers collaborated with the executive branch, allegedly misappropriating about 200 million of Liberia's people's money, equivalent to 200 kilometers of road. Guys, I'm telling you, Mr. Zizi Ibn Bala from Hot FM is telling us that the show in life. Welcome, Dr. Howard Jones. We appreciate you as well, Howard. Thank you for being part of it. All of you guys that come on, you promote this program as well. So we like to welcome you guys as well to the uh, closing argument. So we'd like to welcome you guys as well to the closing argument. We're looking forward to a great show. Uh, the front page Africa here is reporting. I just want to read something. I'm reading from another screen, so don't think I'm not with you. But it say Monrovia, Liberia, the long-held public suspicion about the first branch of government appears to have been confirmed by demanding audit report from the General Auditing Commission. The audit conducted at the request of the Senate pro tempore Yumli Kanga Lawrence had revealed significant issue with the Liberia Senate financial management and government system. Wow. Following a unanimous election as President pro tem, Senator Kanga Lawrence, like House Speaker Fanati Kofa, committed to the subjecting committed to subjecting the Senate to an audit, something that has never happened in decades. True to her word, she mandated GAC to conduct system review of the Senate financial management accounting process from 2018 to March 31st, 2024. And the GAC report identifies numerous issues, including shortcomings in government budget management, financial reporting, cash handling, and procurement. And then the city, it's a whole lot. The audit revealed that the Senate failed to provide approved strategic operational plans, senior management meeting minutes, and monitoring and evaluation report necessary for the oversight of the senatorial activities. The absence of operational plan means that short, medium, and long-term goals may not be clearly identified or pursued, potential potentially jeopardizing the Senate objective. It's a whole lot. I want to get to the part where we talk about money. And at the time, I believe Albert Chi, who is on a committee right now, was heading that. He's another one. Welcome, honestly, Pay, welcome. July Born Rush, welcome. Philip Cutty, welcome. Welcome, guys. And then it talk about the discrepancy in the operational expenses. Hear what it said. It said the audit also uncovered discrepancy in the operational expenses. The budget for 2023 included a line item for operational expenses totaling 486,000. However, payment from the budget line were made for activities that have already been budgeted on the other line item, such as committee hearing and report distribution. Can you imagine? They additionally found significant discrepancy between the amount reported in the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning fiscal alternate reports and the Senate Integrated Financial Management System ledger. The report noted that unexplained variance of almost 7,500,193 $511,193 between two records. The audit also highlighted the Senate exceeded its approved budget for fiscal period 2018 and 2023 without evidence of any supplementary budget, potentially violating the PFM Act. Wow, the GAC warned that such unauthorized excessive expenditure could lead to the misappropriation of public funds, impair the Senate ability to achieve its objective. This is just a gist of what the report is saying. They were using money without even documenting it. They were bringing up program that nothing was used. I mean, it's just so much. It's so damaging. And we have the same people there today. They are the same committee head. They are the same one making decisions and all of that in the Senate. You know, uh, uh, and then I hear that the Chamber of Justice compels government to file in response to the suspended CBL Governor Talu petition. They are calling on the government to file a response to the petition that was filed by suspended governor of the central bank, Honorable Talu. So it's a lot happening in Liberia. We want to bring you breakdown on all of this that's happening. The issue is we live in a very toxic culture. Uh, 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 Liberia is very corrupt, and honestly, uh, I don't know what's going to happen to our country in terms of fighting corruption. But apparently, we have not found the government, we have not found the leader who can bring that change in our country. We have not seen that. Uh, 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 we're still going to have people coming in as they chop, they leave. Another group who's broke come right back as the Liberian poor make the wrong decision because we continue to make the wrong decision, and that's why we are suffering. You know, so let's be very concerned, guys. It's tough. It's really tough, and I don't know what's going to happen, but our culture, our country, is it's just I was having a conversation last night with some friends, and some of them were saying that they can't go back, because it's just some of them came to do business in Liberia, and it's just not working. It's really not working for them, and that's the culture we live in. And I heard that the president appointed somebody to be deputy governor at the central bank, and they owe more debt. They were even singled out in another report than even I'm not, so he's probably going to be there and take all the position of deputy auditor general and then pay his bill. But I understand he was named in the audit. The guy that was appointed by President Blocker have been named in past audit and loans and stuff like that he took. So I don't know where we're heading, to be honest. I don't know where this country is heading, but we cannot avoid appointing corrupt people in government. People want to come back and work in the same place that they have robbed for years and want to come back. Can we find qualified folks? We University of Liberia graduate thousands of students who are accountants and others. Can you bring them young folks who will probably do better, or you bring these same broke folks back and expect to get something? Can you imagine? It's really sad for our country, but we're going to talk about that. And then they talk about the Ministry of Internal Affairs abruptly, ending. I mean, ending the tenure of the national chiefs and elder chairman after fresh election. They got this guy there. He's so I don't know what he want to prove, but I know Chief Zaza Kawa was removed. I honestly feel Zaza Kawa been there too long, and he shouldn't be there. That's what I think. But I mean, you cannot abruptly end somebody's tenure. I mean, that's not right. You can't come in and just try to violate all the laws and like that. You can't just do that. I mean, there's life after here. There's a lot going on after here. You can't come on and act like you don't know the people, and then when you leave, they'll come after you as well. But we're going to bring all of that to you. We're going to have somebody representing Mr. Winfred Russell. I have not received their signal. Once I get the signal, I will bring him in, and he will talk for the first 20 minutes, and then They will, and then we'll get back. Then the guys will be here for us to talk politics. But there's a lot going on in the country. I mean, the other report by God is bad. You know, uh, uh, Minister of Internal Affairs are probably ending people turn up position, whether they have the right or the legal to do it. You know, the returnees, Liberia Returning Network has criticized the government. I understand, yes, the government did great by bringing the Liberian refugee home from Ghana, but I understand the guy to Liberia Refugee Republic, Triple RC, what do you call it? They ate half of the people money. I mean, the money they gave them to have helped the people settle after the return, they ate half of the people money and put them in some messed up place. They're not even providing what honestly, I commend the government. Let's be realistic. President Blaka, First President Cohn did excellent work by bringing the Liberian home. I went to Ghana. I saw the condition. We provided food and water for more than a week. And I saw the condition, and I had the opportunity to even go to Liberia and talk to First President uh, 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 Jeremiah Cohn. And he assured me, he said, I'm going to meet the president. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to make sure that we settle this issue. The people came home, they appropriated a lot of money, and they took the people money and ate it. Some of the people are living on the street and all now. The people back home, they're refugee in their own country again. You see, the LRC, I'm calling them out today. They are very corrupt. Something needs to be done. They need to give account. Because it's bad. I'm reading. In fact, even the front page Africa is reporting this. You know, they are very concerned. After they came home, the Ghanaian government asked the people to leave, and they are saying that we are calling on the government of Liberia, the embassy near Monrovia, UNHCR, all of them. We hereby launch our Home Back campaign to raise the amount of 380,000 to be used to purchase land to build houses for each party-funded transportation returning back to the country. So you're not even prepared for them. You bring the people home, uh, 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 and you eat the money. People who broke, coming home broke, they get L triple RC, they ate half of the people money. They went and jumped there, ate half of the people money. They still think can stop that. Even your own people who been on refugee camp, you eating the money again. What kind of corruption is that? So it's really, really bad. So L triple RC needs to do something. They are not credible. The leaders, the people are concerned about their misappropriation that funds of the funds the government gave them. The government of Liberia did a great job. I must admit, they brought the people home after the people cry, uh, 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 and they ate the money. Yeah, welcome, Gamek Gavelaw, watching from Atlanta. I will be there at the end of this month, Gamek. So we hope to see you. Uh, yeah, Mo Mason, welcome. So he's following for Marshall Highway. Welcome, Mo. Yeah, Zatakawa, the sacking, the way the sack Zatakawa Mo is not easy. Their new minister of internal affairs, he ain't joking. He's firing from all corners. He don't sack Zatakawa, he don't sack other people. But gosh, we like to really welcome you as you come on share. It's a lot going. Let me scroll down the front page Africa, what they are reporting. They reported the audit that they conducted in the Senate. 200 mil were misappropriated. 200 mil. Alice York, welcome, Alice. It's good to see you. They did an audit. Let me put it in simple Liberian English. They checked all the money, then how to use it, and they said $200 million got missing. The way they spent it was not correct. Barbara Wilson, good to see you. Welcome, Barbara. Welcome. 200 million were missing. That's reported. They reported that was misappropriated. Wow. Now, I didn't know that small country got money now. I see why people would be rushing to go there. Some people that leave their family, their children, they're rushing to go like that. Other country got money. Sarah Toku. Welcome, Sarah. Good to see you. What? They don't have money in that country. The people that just go there. I see why some people be rushing. Like tell us the government is looking for government appointment, all of that. You know, the whole Senate you take over to defend to represent the people, all of that. It's just one of the most corrupt person in our government there. That the guy they call Albert Chief. They y'all know about the Chief Corruption King Kong? Or anybody can tell me that his name. If you know his name, write it on there. I'll read it out. They call him he stole so much that they gave him the name Corruption King Kong. If you can tell me his name, I'll put it. Albert Chair is another big criminal. He's a millionaire. He rich. You know, he was president of when American people came out of the sanction and knew what they were doing. But these same people are back in government. They are in different committee heads. I think our chair is the is the head on what land, mine, and energy. Right? But look at how much money was misappropriated under his leadership, President Putin. You know, Emmanuel Bro, good to see you, man. Thank you for watching, Emmanuel Bro. Prince Double, yes, Prince Double. That's the right name. The chief corruption King Kong, Ellis Tyler. He's back in the Senate again. He's back. He magic. That guy, man. He back. You know, Boyma, welcome, Boyma, Pusa, welcome, watching from Florida. Yeah, they are saying, no, man, the chief corruption King Kong is Eddie Tyler of Melvin Tower, good to see you. You know, he's back. He in the Senate again. He heading committee. He represented. He wanted to represent ECOWAS. That's what I represented our country. You know, so yeah, y'all want corruption to start. I just start. Y'all keep putting the same old corrupt people there. Yeah, talk about right. How the corruption will start? You keep putting the CEO people that eat the money. The man was named. You heard about that story where they talk about Beatball 1, Beatball 2, all the different things they did. Uh, 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 he was one of the head in that thing. He chop, 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 chop. I had somebody working with a federal ministry a long time ago. I won't call the name, but the person said when that dude was speaker, when that dude go to the federal ministry go get money man, Central Benin, he carrying 300, 400,000. So now 2 times in a row he run. You see, people 1, people 2, corruption can come every time they all there again. So then you got a lot of folks. They're back. Bill Twyre, managing director MPA, he back. He on Senate committee there again. Yeah, it went all around. Boku Boy, I know they said Boku Boy Junior or what they used to call him. You know, so they are back, folks. Do you expect anything to change? Most of the point, there are few people that I can call that you can see the tangible, you can see the work they are doing in the Senate. And one of those is Senator Side H. Joseph. You can see in the villages, you can see the places that he's building, you can see the medical thing that they're doing. All right. Solomon Brown, welcome, Solomon. You know, and then another group that got Mara Nukwe. Go boy, they didn't play with her, bro. Government put money. The person got tired, person was sending people. They didn't play with it. Mara Nukwe, go boy, they didn't play to eat the money. Like put money. There are a lot of documents I could read here today where you see the kind of transaction the body was doing now for cheer. You know, yes, Emmanuel Bro, welcome, Solomon Brown, good to see you. You know, Aaron Sam, good to see you. Following from ELWA, guys. So they go in there. You think these people bring in a change to you? You know, they're forcing other people then to leave their job so they can put their own people there to stay. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. The woman was deputy governor for operation. Very decent woman, very transparent, clear. They forced the woman to resign. The next man they put there, the man already in devil. He was naming one audit. They appointed today as the acting governor of the bank. Let me find my phone so I can find the man name. So I can find him. He already in correction. Plenty. Then I want to put him right back. They put him right back after he already got that on him. So my question here today is, you want to tell me we don't have any trained Liberians that's not involved in corruption that we can get some of these jobs? Do they have to be related to us? Do they have to be our relative before we put them there, even if they corrupt? You know. So what is going on? You see, the legislature. So it's sad. The budget they passed when other people finished proving it. So other people went there and inflicted more money in the budget. Well, not even go through the Senate. Now the speaker had to call for investigation. Why people so corrupt and just play with the people money? Except the Liberian people get up. You gotta rise up, folks. You gotta start thinking better. You got to start thinking better. Stop putting the recycle politician like honestly pay say. Stop putting the recycle politician in government. Y'all can do better. You can do better. The same old people. You know what it did to the student, the Malian finance minister? They whipping the other day for stealing. I don't think I'm gonna do that one. You know, don't answer nobody gonna do that. But look at President Barker. You changed the woman from the Port Authority, from the central bank, and then the appointed Mr. James B. Wilfred, who defaulted on 90.9K loan from the government. It's one of his own supporter, Marty Colley, is asking, is this how you fight corruption? Edwin Kruger, good to see you. Is that how you fight corruption? You take somebody there, you force the person to resign, you bring somebody who defaulted on 90.9K loan. He can't pay it. He right over there. Then he could put him back and he say he fighting corruption. Then he send it to the bank so he can get him. The first thing you're gonna take out that 90K and pay his debt. You say he owed over debt again, choke up pay. You say I finished paying my bill because he going to the real place now. The real cookie jar is the operation. Because you handle all the operation of the bank. But this guy defaulted on loan, he couldn't pay. So you don't check people credit to see it the correct. You just bring it. So look, guys, we're gonna talk about a lot today. The guys will join us. First half, the first 30 minutes, we'll give it to Mr. Russell, so that they can motivate people. Tomorrow they're having their primary in Minnesota, and to motivate folks in Minnesota to go and vote. So I'm asking you to stay with us because the news here is juicy in terms of it. My frustration, my frustration is Salah Sodi. Welcome. My frustration here is, how can you do the same thing over and over and think you'll grow? The same thing over and over. The man couldn't pay $90,000 bill. Then you think he take it going off a bank because you want. So you can't take over now. You have your own people there who are ready to control it. You see? Why you don't take time to vet? Take your time. You rush into appoint people that are already muddy with cookies. They already muddy with the cookies. Why you don't take time and vet these people and find out before you put them in? But you put him already gone to the end of the cookie jar, then you put them back in to start over. What is wrong with Liberia? What is wrong? For 6 years, you stood. Y'all were the most educated people. Y'all knew about government. Y'all knew criticize. We have and look at the city. Y'all gonna do the same. But look, guys, we're gonna get into this. Just stay with us for the next 30 minutes. We'll have all the panelists here, but we just wanted to. Just stay with us. You'll hear all the news here today. The $270 million they send it to the misappropriated one at the chop it. They can't get a count. They chop it few. You see everybody around big car, they got security behind them. The edit. The truck on the port, they audit from when they send it. They said $200 million was misappropriated. Can you imagine? You can't get a report. Who was there? Abachi. That the same man who's the head of mining and concession, all the kind of things. That man you can't put it. But you are here to talk about
Yeah.
So yeah, so Trucker, let's start this conversation. Guys, we're going to be there. We'll ask you to stay with us. Trucker, you guys are here. Tomorrow is the primary. Tell us what you guys have been doing up to tomorrow's day.
Well, thank you again for having us, having me on show for encouraging our people that live in the Brooklyn Park, Minnesota area and Alcio area to get out and vote for the candidate of the choice. But more importantly, I'm encouraging us to go and vote for Winfred Russell, who's running for District 38A for the Senate House. Look, we've done a lot of work and we're excited about the turnout. We're seeing some good numbers come our way. Our people are showing up, but we need more. This race, just as similar to the Democratic and Republican race, is about people getting out to vote, right? No one has it in the bank. No, it's not a slam dunk situation, but we're in a very good position. We're in a good position. We're excited about what's happening. The feedback we're getting. Our people are to the polls. Our people are showing up at the city hall. You still have a few more minutes left today to show up at the Brooklyn Park City Hall to vote. You can only do that today at the Brooklyn Park City Hall because that's where early voting is taking place. Tomorrow, you will begin to vote in your individual polling places. So you need to know where to go for your polling places based on your address. If you don't know where to go, you can go to Google and just type in Minnesota Poll Finder, and Google will open it up. You put your address in there, and it will tell you exactly where to go to vote for the candidate of your choice. Hopefully, you're going to vote for Winfred Russell, our candidate in this race. The work we've put in, we've been, I mean, we've been out and about, knocking on doors, dropping flyers, dropping literature to people's doors, talking to all, I mean, different demographics, not just in the Liberian community, but in the Muslim community, in the Christian community, in the Kenya community, the Somali community. I mean, everyone that we can reach out to, we've been reaching out to them, asking them to get out to vote, and we're receiving some good results from that. So, um, we're excited about what's going to happen. This is our opportunity to certainly be at a seat where we can begin to make some push on policies for our people. Because again, Winfred understands the issues. He's been working with our community. He has put in the time, and he's a community leader. He has a heart for service. So we want to encourage our people to get out and vote today, if you can. You still have time between now and 5 o'clock. If not tomorrow, is the day to get out the primary vote tomorrow, Henry.
Folks in the Minnesota areas and the Brooklyn Park area, they can start voting early today, and then they can continue tomorrow. Is that what you're talking about, Trucker?
Yes, actually, early voting has been going on for the last several weeks. So, but you can still go out and vote today. You got to between now and 5 o'clock. If you can make it to the polls, get out there to Brooklyn Park City Hall, right there on 85th Avenue, and Zane. That little 85th and Zane, where the Brooklyn Park City Hall is. You can walk in with your ID, letter, whatever it is, or register. If you're not registered to vote, you can register to vote right there, and you can vote. So yes, today is early voting. You can do that, and then tomorrow is the official primary voting, where the polls will be open for 8 o'clock in the morning, and then you just go to your individual polling places. Now, the difference between today and tomorrow is today you can only go to the Brooklyn Park City Hall on 85th and Zane there and vote. Tomorrow, you will have to go to your individual polling places to vote, just like you were voting for the president or like November elections. Everybody go to the polling places and vote around that time. So that's the difference between today and tomorrow.
Trucker, you're talking about Winfred Russell. Why Liberians need to elect Winfred Russell?
We thank you for that good question, Henry. We've had the same question over and over, and the way I put it is this: um, we Liberians, we are amongst the African nations. Again, we continue to say that we are one. We're one of the countries that um, hold one of the closest ties to the U.S. We've been in Minnesota longer than most other immigrant communities. We are one of the largest immigrant community in Minnesota. We have paid our taxes like everybody else have. We occupy a certain district, a certain part of the state that we like to call it our own, which is Brooklyn Park. So if we're going to be in that area where we have concentration, why don't we have a representative that looks like us, that represent us, that understands our issues, our cultural issues, and that can advance our cause? So why Winfred? My question back to the people is why not Winfred? He is the most qualified. He's lived and served this district for the last 20 plus years. He's contributed to this district. He's formed an organization in this district. He's helped led the polio, the COVID vaccine initiative for the statewide initiative. When COVID was happening, he was out in the field helping people and leading the initiative for the state. When Ebola happened, he dropped everything he had to do. He went back to Liberia to help and contribute to Liberia and help eradicate Ebola from Liberia. He's gone to Nigeria to help eradicate polio from Nigeria. When Liberian government needed assistance in so many facets, he's offered his time to offer help. Even the previous administration with George Weah as president, he helped with the city mayor, fire trucks, playgrounds, police equipments, police opportunities, training opportunities, sister city relationship with Kakata, and so many other things that I probably cannot even think about right now. So the question is why not him? If you really want to do that, if it's not him, then who? Because at the end of the day, when you think about the people in the race, he's the most qualified. The other person that he's running against, that jumped in the race, moved in the district about 8 months ago to come and try to take opportunity. Last election cycle, she was someone else. So it seemed as if the person moves around looking for opportunities to get into service. Whereas Winfred has stayed within the district. He understands the issues. He's lived there. He's been the city council before. He's represented a constituent before. Now, due to redistricting, that impacted how whether or not he was going to run again. So he made a decision to go to become a state senator. And this is a great opportunity for us to have a permanent seat at the table where we can begin to advocate and advance, issues that affect Brooklyn Park and our community at large.
Today I watched one talk show host, Michael Gilman,
Yes.
endorse Mr. Russell.
Yeah.
I'm listening to other prominent representatives from Providence, Rhode Island, others that have endorsed Winfred. Let's talk about you just said it, but what are the advantages like being living in Minnesota that they would benefit from if Winfred is elected as the representative, the state representative?
Right. So, first thing again, at the end of the day, having someone in the house that understands your issues, that person, such as Winfred, is able to advocate on our behalf. For an example, we have an organization here in Minnesota called the Organization of Librarians in Minnesota. That organization purpose is to help close the resource gap amongst librarians, be it health, school, education, around not just K to 12 education, but college education, housing, employment. But when you think about that, all of those things cannot happen when there's no funding.
Mm-hmm.
So we, as an organization, as a people, we have not really tapped into our full potential and our fullness of what we have to offer because there has not been funding in the organization. The organization tries to keep alive, tries to do different things, but there is not funding in the organization. Someone like Winfred, who sits on the council, was sat on the council in the House of Representative, senator, he can advocate for permanent funding where it is allocated in the budget of the state, that our organization gets X dollar amount every month or every year to cater to the needs of our people. You must understand we are immigrants, and a good number of our people still struggle with the barriers that prevent them from advancing. So some of the opportunities that you and myself, who've been blessed to be educated in this country, may have, a good number of people do not have that. So having someone like Winfrey on the table allows that opportunity where we can have cultural specific and culturally relevant programming within the organization for our people. But the organization needs someone like Winfred to advocate and say, hey, listen, when it comes time to pass this budget, let's make sure there's allocation in this budget for our people, for the organization Liberians in Minnesota.
Right.
Businesses opportunities again. You people who want to start businesses in Minnesota, people who want schools. You want to send your children to good schools. You want to send your children to a school that have more resources. If people are not on people are not on the table where the conversation is happening to allocate budget or allocate resources for them, then guess what? We are left out as a people, and we're already starting behind because we're an immigrant community. We came in this country. Most of us came as refugees in this country, and we struggle. Some of us went to school. Some people chose a different path. Some people came at a time when they didn't have the opportunity to go to school. Some of our parents came in this country. They were adults, so they just had to do what they had to do. So it is incumbent upon us, this generation, to make sure that our generation after us are better equipped, better prepared, and are more engaged with this style and this system of living, rather than just receiving, handouts here and there, having a little community gathering here and there, when there are other larger organizations making major impact within the community. So Winfred presence in at the state again will not just be for Liberians, but all people in the district. There's the entire thing, but there's a benefit from having someone who you can call your own. You can pick up the phone, you can call Winfred, he can understand, he understands our issues, he can advocate for us for Liberian causes. So that's one of the benefits of having, or some of the benefits of having Winfred, at the table.
If I ask you, what's the disadvantage?
The disadvantage is you for example, I think I shared the story before. The executive director for OLM went into the state to help get some funding, and there he's trying to push some legislation around, trying to get people to sign on the bill, and so forth. And one of the representatives said, "Hey, man, listen, you're here, but if you had someone from your community, someone who understands your issues, he or she will be advocating for you." And so that's a disadvantage when you don't have someone at the table. Then you're on the menu. Someone is not able. You're not able to bring forth all of your issues, all of the opportunities that could come your community. Now, I'm not saying other representatives will not do the same per se, but they might do it on a large scale and just overlook the fact that the type of services that we need, the type of assistance that we need, they may not really understand our issues. So it's a disadvantage for us when we don't have someone we can look up to. When Barack became president of this country, every people of color felt, hey, you know what? If Barack can be president, my son could be president too. Now you have, another African American, Kamala Harris running, and our young females are looking. Whoa, wow! Finally, we have a shot at having a female to become president. Guess what? We have a shot at having a Liberian to become the next senator of Minnesota at the state level. And that is an exciting call. That is an exciting opportunity that we can look at our demographic, look at our culture, look at our state, and say yes, we have someone that reflects the population, the people that live in that district, and that's what governance should be. The people that represent you should be a representation of your district at the end of the day. And so we're asking people that live in the district to go out and vote Winfred because he represents the district, and he's a face of the district.
What will you say to people who are saying that they like Winfrey, but they are afraid, they hope he won't be selective in terms of representing Liberia? What will you say to them?
When you say he will not be selective in representing Liberia, I'm not sure.
Liberians.
Well, if again, and I hear people may have their own ambivalence, or people may have their own thing. Winfrey track record has not shown that. So and there's another thing I want to begin to dispel. I know where I'm here to ask for a vote, but some of these things people need to really sit back and understand what is the bigger picture here. This is about the community. At no point in time Winfred will ever, and he's a personal friend, I know him well, that he would be selective. There's a man who would take his shirt off his back to give you an opportunity. I'll give you an example, Henry. Some years ago, Winfred, through his community work, was awarded a community award through the McKnight Foundation. Winfred, as a personal gift for his service, was given $10,000 as a prize because he his community work said, hey, listen, you did great, and he won that, and he got $10,000 as a personal gift. As a friend and a brother to Winfred, trust me, I witnessed the event. I was there when he received it. Not one single penny did Winfred take and say, hey, I'm going to use it for my benefit. What did he do? He took that $10,000 and in return, turned it back and gave it back in the community for community service. You're talking about a selfless leader? That's Winfred. You're talking about a person who does not keep grudge or hold back or want to see you fail. This is a brother who will open doors and bring connection. That is why when we was there, he did what he do with the government. When Ellen was there, he did what he had to do to help the government. When Joseph Burka is there now, he's done and he continues to do what he can do to help the government because country first. At the end of the day, country first. We may all have our difference in politics, and I can understand that some people have different opinions on politics, and I can get it. But at the end of the day, we're all here advancing one cause, which is the district of Brooklyn Park, 38A district. The people will receive the benefit from a good leader, and if you're worrying whether or not you're going to be selected, the process in itself, as a matter of fact, does not even allow you to be selected. Let's be real with that. They have rules and norms that govern how people operate within that space, and it's very almost impossible to be selected. And that is not the nature of who Winfred Ross is. His character is nothing but love, openness, integrity, honesty, transparency, and he's a man of the people. So I have no doubt that he will do well once he gets into the house.
All right. I mean, I know Winfrey. I remember a few years ago, probably last year, he brought in the director of police and former director of police. They came to Minnesota, and there were plans to even bring police from Liberia
Hmm.
to train here and go back home. I remember the work he did with the fire service. In
You mean
fact, they
you
had
mean
a
on a new we are now?
yeah, under President We Are Leadership. He
Right,
did bring
right, right.
police director Patrick Sulu to the
So,
to the
yes,
to the U.S.
yeah,
and they have already signed a communique that we're going to bring police from Liberia who are going to be trained here in Minnesota, and they were going to go back and work uh, for the police and all of that. He was organizing training capacity. All that. He did work with CDC, Felicia Howard. He
yeah,
did. Saw the former police director came
yeah,
to Liberia, saw him, and
yeah,
he did organize the fire services. There were times where we had the head former director of Minnesota Fire Department. Then we
yeah.
had the former director for the Western Virginia Fire Department, or Liberian. And both of them were
Yeah.
on the show here and talk about. So,
Yeah.
I think this is an opportunity for Liberians. I don't think it should be something that we take personal, or because he and this person had this problem. Also, then that shouldn't be. It's about because
You know,
Liberians
true.
tend to benefit a lot.
They
Go
do.
ahead, Truka.
True. But the funny thing about it again is I'll say this. You know, sometimes we're too hard on ourselves. The expectation that we put on ourselves or on another Liberian, sometimes we don't even put it on a person who is not a Liberian. You know, if a non-Liberian was running right now, these questions and all the different innuendos that come along with that and all the different things, most times people wouldn't even ask that. People wouldn't even begin to consider that. But it is what it is. When it comes to Winfred or Liberian running, it doesn't just have to be Winfred. Then we ask, these different questions, and and I get it. I get it. People want to make sure that you're going to serve them. I get it. But at the end of the day, let us not trivialize this opportunity. This is an opportunity, one in a lifetime opportunity that we have now to go ahead and open that door and make that seat a Liberian seat. So after Winfred, another Liberian can come in there and be like, you know what, the next Liberian can take it, and so forth and so forth. And by the time you look, we're now breeding. We have a whole flesh of a group of Liberians who are now taking public policy positions, elective offices, so that we can transform and make policies that impact our people, that benefit our people. This is how it is done, So I hear the concerns of people, the concerns. I appreciate the views that people have, and why they may feel indifferent here and there. But you know what? Let us be beyond that. The task at hand calls for us to rise above that, and put our best effort forward, and our best foot forward, and our best foot at this time is Winfred Russell, who is going to occupy a seat for our community and give opportunity for people.
I will send the tape to the guys in studio, but I know one of the person that he has some, you know, but have endorsed him, and I was very impressed to see Gilman endorse Winfrey and tell him, and that they're going to bring, because this Liberia stand to benefit. What we're going to do? Are we going to sit there and let the opportunity go again?
Right, right.
Having your own brothers and sister representing you there will make a big difference. And what are some of the plans? What are some of the things that Winfrey planned to initiate when if he's elected?
Well,
What
again,
kind of
understanding that as you already know, politics is about policy and forming a coalition and people within the House to make certain rules pass. But the policy will impact the entire district. K to 12 funding, housing, equitable housing for all. Public safety. You want to live in a community where there's enough funding for people for our law enforcement to make sure again that crime is dealt with accurately, and there are resources for our children, after school opportunities for our children to go to school and take advantage of developmental opportunities in the district, and stuff like that. So those are some of the things, just high level. Those are some of the things you can think about that Winfrey will continue to push for the people that along with his colleague, of course, for the district.
Yes, I mean, let's talk about Winfrey. He served on the city council
Yep.
Before he was elected, and one of the things he did was he helped like establishing the a business that was there.
Yep.
There were even folks that were getting funds, and I understand when he ran to be mayor, he did not win, and the new guy that was elected came and cut it up straight and brought his own man, put him in there. So it appears that if you don't elect Liberians don't go to the polls and don't vote for Winfrey, then opportunity you will not get it. You're just not going to get it.
Yeah, let me clarify that piece just for clarity purposes. It was not a business that Winfrey formed. What it was is that the Liberian Business Association, headed by Jackson George. At the time, Jackson George was the Consul General for Liberia, had a contract with the city. The city awarded it. So the city decided to say, hey, listen, small businesses, we're going to try to find a place where small businesses can go and have office space and do different things to help small business minimize the cost for small businesses to thrive. So they had this small business incubator space where they could go and rent a little space and do their business and stuff like that. But they needed someone to manage that. So uh, Winfrey being on the council, along with his colleagues, said there's no other group better to manage this than Liberian Small Business Association, because again, the district is heavily populated with Africans and Liberians, and of course, non-Liberian as well. So the contract was awarded to the Liberian Business Association. After the Winfrey ran for mayor and he didn't win that race, when his mayor came on, one of the very first thing that impacted the community was that contract was taken away from the Liberian Business Association and given to another person that supported his campaign. Okay, so whereas Liberian Business Association went through a vetting process with the council, and they were doing a phenomenal job over there, but because of this relationship that existed, this other person got a contract, taking away a major opportunity for the Liberian Business Association to do business with the city and strengthening the small businesses within the community, Liberian business community. So that is an immediate impact that happened as a result of Winfred not winning at the time, and now you had a new leadership, and they made a different decision at the time. Now, I'm not, however way they made a decision, just how they made a decision is up to them. But the point I make here is,
Oh,
I have
guys,
someone
guys,
there.
guys. You can't just play it right away.
Yes.
Guys, somebody talking. You can't just play the video right away. We'll tell you to play it, and you play it.
Yeah,
Go
so I'll
ahead.
go ahead.
End
You
your
can play
statement.
that. This is Michael Gilman, who has chosen, who has
Good evening,
endorsed.
welcome, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you find yourselves. It's a welcome, and it's great to be out with you tonight, or today, this afternoon, this morning, wherever you are, wherever the time is with you, for a cause. And this cause is our official endorsement of Winter Ross for Minnesota House District number 38A. And that's why we have Tonto in the background calling everybody outside to do what we have to do to make this happen. Okay? But first, my name is Michael Gilman. I'm the host and executive administrator of the Concern for Jida Hard Talk, chairman, CEO for Concern Liberian Network. I have been your leader all these years here in the diaspora. And tonight I've come to you in a very special way, appealing to you for your understanding, your indulgence, and everything. We are appealing to you to get your support as we line up behind Winfred Russell for Minnesota House 38A. Okay? Winfred is a typical Liberian, and we had him on our platform on Jida Hard Talk. He came in, he apologized for whatever wrongs he might have committed, intentional or unintentional. Uh, he apologized. He expressed his remorse. He expressed regrets. And that's the most anybody can do when they realize that they might have gone wrong with one or two persons unintentionally. The most they can do is to apologize and recognize that he has done so. There's nothing we can seek out of him again. All right. Despite all of that, Winfred has also delivered some good things for our brothers and sisters there in Minnesota, our community, Liberian community in Minnesota, or African community in Minnesota. Also, for our country, Liberia, when he appeared on the show, things that he did that we did not even know. Our cameras did not pick them up. But this is why we say, let's bury the hatchet and chart a new course. We can only judge him now after he has performed based on his service or services when he gets into the house, 38A district. Okay. Other than that, everything we know about him will be based in a past. That district is heavily populated with Liberians. We have a chance of turning our seat into a Liberian seat in Minnesota. And I'm calling upon you, all right? I'm appealing to all of you,
right,
especially those within the demarcation. We're going to be showing you the demarcation zones, all right? Those of you within the demarcation to come out in your numbers and vote Winfred Russell, all right? Come out in your numbers and vote Winfred Russell. The early voting ends on Monday. You can vote either at the Brooklyn Park City Hall or the Osseo City Hall on Monday. Other than that, on Tuesday, you can vote at your places of registration. Wherever you register to vote, you need to go there on Tuesday to vote. But I'm calling upon you, take your moms, take your dads, every one of you that are within these or locations to go out and vote on Monday. Take a look, take a listen.
If you live in any of these communities, Autumn Ridge Apartments, Boone Avenue 63rd Communities, Creekside Gables, Cove Park Haven on Kentucky, Douglas and 107th Avenue, Eden Park Apartments, Evergreen Apartments across from Mr. Car Wash,
Garden Gates Apartments, Green Haven Apartments, Hampshire Terrace, Huntington Place, Maple Brook Parkway on West Broadway, Northwood Park along Oxbow Creek Oxbow, Pebble Creek Apartments, Rhode Island Avenue, Strawberry Commons,
the Groves on 63rd, the Oaks, Willowbrook, Willow Park, Windsor Gates, Villa del Coronado, Kensington Place, Stony Brook, and Point of America. Vote Winfred Russell for Minnesota State House. District 30.
Okay.
All right. So, guys, there you have it, Trucker.
Yes.
Some of you who had a doubt that Gilman did not endorse, there you have it. Trucker, we got at least another 5 minutes. Gettable, welcome. Gettable, you want to chime into? I'm sure you've been following the conversation. You want to chime into this?
I'll let you guys continue. I haven't followed this much. I know he's a Liberian brother. I've been on the same show with him. I would really wish him good luck to succeed. But for the record, I'm an independent voter in the U.S. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I don't tend to support any of them. But I wish him good luck. I wish, if I'm going to call friends and family members that I know in Minnesota to vote for him, I will actually talk to my son. My son just moved to Minnesota. He's working there. I think it's in a county called Otsego or something like that. I'm going to talk to him.
So, Mr. Gunglo, let me just interject. Your son, if Otsego is different, the son has to live within, number one, the county that's impacted is Hennepin County.
Oh, okay.
But particularly, he has to live within the district of Brooklyn Park and Osseo.
Oh, no, he's fine with it. He's fine with it.
Right. So if he doesn't live in Brooklyn Park, in that district, the districts that we just talked about, in the Osseo area, then his vote would not.
I got you. He's outside the boundary.
You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct, Mr. Donald. You're right.
Yeah, but
you can still call people in Minnesota and encourage them. Your voice matters in this space. Yes, Henry.
Yes, we got about 5 or 6 more minutes for you. You want to anything? Alex Chuchu Jones, welcome. I like that haircut. That different that style, Alex. That haircut, welcome. You mentioned Alex.
Alex and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, Ronaldo. You got Ronaldo haircut. So, welcome, Alex. And I think you heard about. You've been following the show. You heard about Winfred Russell.
I've been working with Mr. Russell for at least, I would say, 5 years now, when he ran for mayor and other positions and other time. He's a very knowledgeable person, a good person, especially for government and cities and so forth. So I wish him all the best. And I know he's gonna win. I'm calling all Liberians in Minnesota to unite. I was just listening to Gillette talk that did not support him the last time, and my conversation with him was, reach out to these guys, settle their differences, mend fences, and then, I don't think there's any Liberian who would not want to see another Liberian in any office in the United States. So I'm happy that he did that. They are now endorsing him. I want to thank all his team, hard work, and I'm confident that he will win this time. But he's a very knowledgeable guy, very good in city planning, development. I've been co-partner on a show with him several times. After this, I hope he goes to run our city hall. So we gave him this time, but next time when he needs to go run the city of Monrovia, he's one of the most qualified, knowledgeable person in terms of city and governments, local government.
Well, Chuchu, I've never met you. Nice meeting you, Chuchu. But
Right.
that call will come from the president if that is what the president desires, I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
well, when I win in 2029, I'll probably make that call.
Well, I can tell you what Winfrey's focus is right now is his focus is certainly this campaign running and serving the District 38A and the people of Brooklyn
Yeah.
Park. That's what the focus is, and but thanks for your help with the campaign, Chuchu, along the way. Mr. Gongolo, thank you. I see you have I see pigs behind. I'm not sure what are you an agriculturalist or something? A farmer?
Yes, I'm one of the largest pig farmers in Liberia. More
Okay.
than 200 pigs on my farm.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, we got some money.
Right.
Yeah, we got some change.
My father did animal husbandry, back in the day. But anyway, that's another story. So anyway, Henry, thank you for having us. I like the topics you're having today. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to come back on and talk about it. But when you started the show and you started talking about all the different things happening, from the misappropriation to different stuff, that's a good conversation. So, but I'm sure you have enough panelists to talk about that. But I would chime in when I can. But again, thank you for having me. I appreciate that. To Mr. Gongolo, and nice meeting you, Mr. Gongolo. Nice meeting you, Mr. Jones, for the first time officially.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that we can compare notes after the show and get to know each other more, and maybe make this another platform where we can, on a constant basis, come and provide our perspective in shaping, some of the discourse within the country.
Okay, Trokan, thank you, and we wish Winfrey all the best tomorrow. I'm sure he will win overwhelmingly.
I will be in the war room, so if you need data, whatever, you know who to call.
Definitely. We definitely probably we'll do a later on in the evening tonight. We'll come up and see if we can do a show and just
definitely.
Yes, sir, brother. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Nice to meet you, gentlemen, and have a wonderful show.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Welcome again to all. Welcome to all our viewers. Welcome again to the Closing Acumen. Thank you for hanging in there with us as we continue this edition. Mr. Alex Tutu June, the future president of Liberia, is here, and Mr. Kelebo Gongolo here. Guys, I started talking about the audit that was done in the Senate, and reading through the Front Page Africa. They talk about misappropriation of $200 million that was not used for the internet business in the Senate. A Senate that was conducted by the Liberian the President pro tem, Yumli Kanga. She called for audit, and following the her election, and I understand that GAC reported numerous issues, including shortcomings in the government budget management, financial reporting, cash management, and all of that. Alex June, you're a fan of me. I don't know whether you read that part from the Front Page Africa, but the report is quite damaging, very, very damaging as we read through. It talks about money that were expended and nothing. For example, they say the audit in 2023 budget included line item labeled grants, totaling $2,583,000. That's just one line of it. $2,583,601. However, there was no evidence of policy or procedure governing the management of these grants. Payment was made from the grant budget line for expenses such as salary operation costs, printing, which have already been budgeted on other categories. And said that the GAC warned that this lack of oversight could lead to arbitrary decision, non-compliance with laws, regulation, potentially hindering Senate objectives. So I wanted to start from there. Let me just read the last line, then we move on. They said the audit also uncovered discrepancy in the Senate operation expenses. The budget for 2023 included a line item of operational expenses totaling 4,685,000. However, payments from this budget line were made for activities that had already been budgeted on other line items, such as committee hearing and report distribution. There are others there, but I want to stop there and bring you guys in. Let's talk about that. Alex, let's start with Calabusa. He came on first.
No, Alex can go. Alex, on other issue, no, Alex is one of the experts on finance, so I'll let him go.
Alex, go.
So thank you for having me. I didn't know the topic today, but of course this is something that I'm very familiar with. I was reading some of the articles, especially the one in Front Page Africa, that talked about the audit, the failures, the lack of strategic planning, misappropriation, and all those things. And this is, to me, yesterday's news, because everybody knows, even the 6-year-old in Liberia knows that the government is corrupt. The government is full of misappropriation, and I think this just backs that up. The audit has internal, committees, finance committees and budget committees. You really don't even need to look at the GSC report. The fact that these people have not even published any report since they established post-war would tell you that, number one, they have no clue in terms of accountability. And if you don't have accountability, obviously you can't govern efficiently. So this is just revealing something that I guess the public knows. The question now would be, what happens? How do we move forward? Are we going to call on the same Senate, or are you going to call an independent group of people to come in and help them put these things in place? That would be my recommendation, because obviously they are incapable of doing it themselves. They don't have the skills or the ability. Yes, a senator doesn't even have a website, and they're allocated thousands of dollars each senator, for technology. Where's that money going? Where has it been going? So if you can't even inform your people adequately through a simple website, how are you going to manage the country? How are you going to put resources into education, into the economy, into development? So it's a pity that Liberians have to live on such an incompetent, such a ragtag, leadership. And then that's just the truth. People you just pick somebody from behind a tree and tell them become a senator or become a representative. It's a travesty. So when we wonder why Liberia can't even grow 5%, if you can't grow 5%, you can take picture with Elon Musk, you can take picture with all the US ambassador, you can have all your ceremony. The country is going nowhere because the inflation rate alone is over 10%. So you're going backwards. So when people talk about this hope and this leadership and Joseph Boakai and George Weah, how are you evaluating these people on growth? Because there's no growth. Actually, there has not been any real growth in Liberia since the post-war. And which means that basically everything just going downhill. That's why the people feel the pinch. That's why things are hard. They don't know it in economic terms. Some of us will know it and will say, okay, you have no growth, you have high inflation, you have misappropriation. But the Irish family in Liberia, the Irish student in Liberia, that's why everybody lined up to the American embassy, which is a disgrace. Your youth, the people who are supposed to be excited about going to university, starting businesses, going to the job market, they want to leave the country. And you talk about leadership, we have no leadership in Liberia, but I think the candidate is here. Russell, how are you? Guys, I just endorse you for, I know, the second or third time, and I'm honored to be your friend. You're a very wise guy and smart, and you deserve to even be governor of Minnesota. Okay? Thank you.
Mr. Russell, good to see you and welcome again, man. We we all have endorsed here on behalf of the Close Enactment. I mean, I'm endorsing you, Henry Peabody. I'm endorsing you, and I believe exactly
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and you better be endorsed me. So your friend Jesse, your buddy Jesse, he endorsed me.
Yes, and I'm publicly on this platform with about what 1,655 people watching, endorsing Mr. Winfred Russell as the next representative for what's the name of the district again?
District 38A. So you saw
District.
your no, I was talking about your guy Michael Gilman from GD Hot Talk.
Yes, we just played the video. People were doubting it, and we actually played that video to show that
Yeah.
Micah is saying that whatever happened, what happened is the past, and he's endorsing you. So we joined all of them today to endorse Mr. Winfred to be the next representative for District 38A in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. So Winfred, your representative was just here, and I'm glad you came on. So let's just share with the people. Tomorrow is election day. What you expect them to do, and all of that.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. And my brother Alex, man, Chuchu, it's so nice seeing you again. It's true, he's been a super great supporter, and for a very long time, he's always there, always got my back. So I'm grateful. I'm really appreciative. But I don't see the other guys, Benjamin and Tomlin.
Tumlin is probably trying to hop on right now. I can see him in the back trying to get on.
Oh, you're trying to get on right now. Okay,
Yeah.
but it's so good, and Mr. Gonglo, it's always great to be on the closing argument. Let me tell you something though, Dr. Peabody. So I met this lady. When did I meet her? I met this lady who told me, she's like, well, I mentioned it because I mean, a lot of folks don't. I mean, usually they don't say it. But I met this lady who said, you know what? She said, I'm a religious follower of the closing argument. And I saw you in the closing argument a long time ago. And you've been there, you used to go on the closing argument. So because of that, I voted for you. She told me she did the early voting. And so she said she voted for me because of the closing argument. So I was very excited. Truly, I was very excited to yes. Like, oh, really? She said, yeah. She said, I'm a diehard supporter of the closing argument, and I saw you in the closing argument. So it's great, guys. It's great to be here. It's wonderful. My brother Tomlin, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, man, I had to come because I had to come because it's important that Liberian turn out in droves to vote for you, because I mean you have done a great job. You're a patriot. Because you doesn't care whoever is in power in Liberia. You helped Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration. Even George, we have people that didn't know, but you helped them a lot. Jefferson Koji, you brought him he came to Minnesota. You helped them a lot. You were sitting mayor. You did your best, and even the Boycott administration, when he was even vice president, you helped Boycott and also. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. All you guys, he got t-shirt. All you guys got t-shirt for you guys, but but
I expect
Yeah.
I expected you guys to be wearing the t-shirt. I said t-shirt for you guys to Dr. Peabody.
What a t-shirt.
How the guy was sent t-shirt, you didn't give it to us.
Peabody.
Gosh.
My man, that's sheep for Tomlin.
Do you want me to answer the question?
We're celebrating victory with a t-shirt on, guys. I'm
Tumlin.
confident that.
Do you want me to answer that question? Why Tomlin forgot to do it?
Yeah, go ahead, kiddo.
I don't answer. I don't want
leave me alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is
Oh man, Tumlin, you killed the day, man.
Hey, come on, man. Look.
You've been in Minnesota 2 weeks. You couldn't call for to get our t-shirt, bro.
But please turn out to vote, bro. But Winfred, I mean, trust me, he's someone who is results oriented.
okay.
He will get it done. I listened to my brother Chokon page. Chokon said it and eloquently. Winfred is a people's person. He's someone who is result oriented, and I saw him with the mayor of Monrovia the other day. He's helping everyone, even the director of police in Liberia. He helped everyone. He's involved with everyone. He did it with Patrice Sulu during the Weah administration. He did it with Jefferson Koji in the Weah administration. And he's doing it now because he's a patriot. He's a nationalist who believes in serving his people. So I believe that. And then, I was somebody telling me, do you guys know that? Just imagine that, because I'm like Kelebu said, I'm independent, but I'm supporting the Democratic election because we just can't afford to allow the country to go the wrong way. Just imagine the vice president in waiting of Governor Walz. Winifred knows the guy personally. Just imagine now. Just imagine if that should happen. You know what it means for Liberia? You know what means how Liberia will benefit? So look, let us come out in droves and support Winifred and vote for him. And Chuchu Jones, thank you, man, for your endorsement. You one of the guys who when you speak, I know you mean what you say. And Kelebu, there's a guy who he's independent, he's a free thinker, and Kelebu and I we talk a lot. And Kelebu, when he says something, he means it. So Kelebu's son is in Minnesota. Yeah, I'm sure he'll call his friends in Broken Part to support and vote for Winifred. So I trust.
But Timothy, I'm not calling up, but one of our friends from Liberia, who used to be a member on this show, Johnny KM, Johnny Yebby. He said, I'm following the show, kind of tell Russell that my family will support him. He should know Mr. and Mrs. Tawa, Tarwar, Tewa, Mr. and Mrs. Tawa. He said he already calling them, and he calling them to vote for you, Winfred. Our goal is to see you win more, because there's advantages for Liberians will be high, and our goal is to see you win. So we're calling people to vote for him, but also the race will continue. Also to donate to that campaign. I'm sorry, Timothy. If you are not coming on the show, Timothy, not even tell we had t-shirt. He had t-shirt for us. We got just heard it.
I get t-shirt. I get t-shirt for all of you. And the middle of the night, I drove to his place. I said, make sure you get them better on the t-shirt.
We'll celebrate that victory with the t-shirt. Trust me.
Okay.
All right. I'm confident that Winfred will win, and then we'll celebrate it. We'll celebrate our victory with a t-shirt on the day announced the results.
And who's that beautiful lady there? Is that Pearl?
Yeah.
How you doing, Pearl?
I'm calling her Bertha Stewart. She's in Minnesota. Bertha Stewart, please vote for Winfred.
Well, Bertha is a diehard supporter and the donor. So she's been out. She's donated financially. And she's been knocking the door, so she's a strong supporter. And so this is one of the youngest and the most eloquent door knocker, Miss Pearl. So you want to say she wanted to come on to be on YouTube, she said.
so let Pearl tell us. Let Pearl tell us, why Winfred Russell would be a great representative. Can you tell us? Talk to us.
Why I think he's gonna be a good representative is because he's a great person, a great dad, and
I should let you speak.
former city council member.
Good.
So I really hope he wins.
He will.
Thank you so much. I will get you to work on my campaign, okay, Pearl? In 2029. Good job.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. So guys, the tomorrow is it? Today we've been taking people out. We're still door knocking. As we all have said, this is very significant for our community. Representation matters. And there are just too many of us here. As far as the numbers are concerned, Chicho, I know I've been on the show a couple of times. I talked to you all about what is at stake, but we have the numbers, right? So what it has come down to is East African versus West African. Okay. So we have the lady who I'm running against just moved into Brooklyn Park 8 months ago. And there were about 20,000 Liberians living in Brooklyn Park. Not all of them in my district, but in the entire city of Brooklyn Park. Because to vote for me, you have to live in Brooklyn Park and the city of Osseo, but it will be the western half of Brooklyn Park to vote for me. And we are like 5-1 compared to the Kenyans. But it doesn't matter how many we are here or what sort of endorsement or connections we have. Gentlemen, as you all know, folks have to show up to vote.
Yeah.
That is the bottom line. That's what it comes down to. There's nothing fancy about it. We've done the work. Pearl, Bertha, Frances, Trokan, all of the folks, Waterside Market has been heavily promoting and supporting us. We've been out there door knocking. We've gone to all the churches, to all the tribal groups. My Nimba people have been there, behind me, door knocking, campaigning for me. Bunk County, Grand Bassa County, the Muslim community, all of the group, because this is a community thing, right?
No.
I'm just the vessel through which the community is going to access resources, access services, access power. We have been coming here since the 19 Liberians as a whole been coming here and settled here in Minnesota since the 1950s. They were brought here by Lamco. And the Somali community started settling in Minnesota and came as a result of the civil conflict in Somalia in 1991 and 1992. But check this out. Somali has 6 representatives in the House, 2 in the Senate, 1 in Congress, in the U.S. Congress, and several city mayors and city council members throughout the state. Liberia doesn't have anything. 0, zip. So that whole voter apathy and trying to get folks around, they say, well, to understand the importance of civic engagement and why we need to get involved and get engaged. That's part of the challenge that we are having. I mean, we have endorsement from my colleague out in Colorado, Ms. Naquita Ricks, from my colleague out in Rhode Island, Mr. Nathan Beer. He was here supporting us. He endorsed us too as well as Representative Ricks. And then our brother out in Montana, Wilma Collins, he's been out here too. He's endorsed us. So this is a whole community thing. But all of those things would not matter if people don't show up to vote tomorrow. That's what it's come down to. So we have the numerical strength. We have the numbers. And I know some people will say, well, not all of Liberians have their citizenship. That is true. But since we fought for TPS DED and gave citizenship to over 10,000 Liberians across the country, many more Liberians have gained their citizenship, has received the citizenship. So out of the 20,000, I would say, give and take, about 75% of them have their citizenship and they can vote. But even if you don't live in Brooklyn Park, like what you all have been doing, is calling your friends, calling your relatives who live here, and encouraging them to show up to vote, because we need to be represented at a table. The 45 to 50,000 Liberians who live here, I'm not even counting the kids. I'm not even counting Pearl and her age group folks. I'm talking about our age group. About 50,000 of us live here. We have 0 representation. We have nothing to show for it. So that's what this is all about. It's about the community. It's about us coming together. But we have to show up. We have to vote in order for us to be able to represent our community and all of our community, adequately.
Good. Anybody? Tiffany, go ahead.
So I would say again, we appeal to everyone to just go out there and go and go and vote. And crowd politics is now, it doesn't matter. It's the day of voting is the main day. That's why I don't believe in the polls. I don't believe in the crowd politics. I've learned a lot. Only the real poll is the day that the voting day. Go and vote. Go and cast a vote. Take your time out. If you're working double shift, please take your time on your break. Find time. That's why they do early voting. People, so you can be able to make sure that on your days off you vote. So go and do it for the sake of our own community, because the Liberian community in Minnesota, in Brooklyn especially, is very, very large, and they are doing great things. Right now, they have the Liberian Business Association in our area, and most Liberians now They're not even working. They are now involved. They are involved in business, and instead of doing an ordinary job, they are all because they are making a good return from it. So please, 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 let's make it happen. But just imagine that lady that's in the U.S. Senate today, the House, what her name, Uma?
Yeah, Ilhan.
Ilhan. I mean, imagine, dude. I mean, and because of the Somalian community, that's why that lady is bold. She's blunt because her community, she that district is safe for her because her people live there, and she will always be that vocal person win that seat. That's why she don't care. They call her in the squad, but yet and still they speak her mind. So let us make it happen. Let us go and vote. He's not only for Liberian, he's doing it for African also.
Exactly. No, I mean that's it, and that's part of our goal. Chumani, you're so right about it, because that seat, District 3, that Ilhan Omar represents, is a Somali seat. They have tried, so many folks have come, white folks, other folks, Jewish folks, they all have come, they'll pour in money there for people to come and take her out. That seat is solidly Somali. So once she leaves, the next person, whoever hand she holds up to bring to that seat, if that person is going to win, and especially if that person is Somali. I mean, many of the House seats around here in Minnesota, you will see that they have it set up in a way where, once they leave, and even the Asians are doing the same thing too. So that's what we're trying to do for us, that this will become a Liberian seat. But we have to vote. We have to show up to vote first for that to to happen. And we have, like you said, we have huge businesses here. We pumped in about $2 billion into the local economy. We own homes. We have businesses. We have shops. We have car dealerships. We have garages. A whole host of different businesses. Waterside Market, one of the biggest businesses here. You all, Tourmaline, when you were here the last time, you visited Waterside Market. They've been a huge supporter. They provided a van. So tomorrow, if people have, if people are looking for ride to get to their polling places, we'll be able to provide ride for them.
Yeah, but let me just chime in on this a little bit. I think, Russell, I listened to you. I think you've done a magnificent job. I mean, you've done the job that any candidate, serious candidate, will do. As I listen to you, you've worked through regional organizations, county organizations. You worked through churches. You worked through different groups, social groups. I mean, that's the best you can do. You've done that. And I think at the end of the day, I'm confident you'll win. And you should just be proud that working horizontally, you pulling the whole group together, and the statistics you gave is very stacking. You have that number of Liberians. There is no reason why we'll be paying taxes, doing all these things, and we don't have representation. Mm-hmm. Somebody that we can go to and say, hey, this is happening. Can you write for me? Can you talk to this agency? Can you go to the police chief? I mean, this is like a low-hanging fruit that our people should just grab and chew on it tomorrow morning. I mean, but as I was talking, you were talking, I was chatting with one or two persons from Nimba to just find out if they are aware. And Imara Mondo said, I voted already, in the Nimba community with Karen Ross. So it's like, I know he's a politically active guy. So the fact that he confirmed that they are with you, that makes me feel good. I'm going to just ask my wife, family, Mr. Marchant, and his children. They live in Brooklyn Park. I'm very sure the Marchants are also supporting you. So I'm going to ask my wife to see if her family are supporting you. I'm very sure.
Yeah, thank you. That's all. Like you said, that's all we can do. We try to do the best we can. We work with all of the groups, and yesterday alone we went to about 4 churches. We went to four churches, and been engaging all these different groups, going to the football field, going to the barbecue, and all of that. So we're doing the best we can, and we're just trying to change the mindset of our folks, trying to conscientize them about why it is important to vote. If something happened here, we need resources to build our community center or to build a radio station that we're trying to put up, or some communication outfit here. Is not Kamala Harris. I mean, people are excited about the Kamala Harris ticket. We know Tim Walz. We work with him very closely on a number of issues, including TPS-DED. But at the end of the day, it's about our local candidates. We have to be excited about representation at the local level. I think that's part of what is important. And I mean, you're a numbers guy, Kelebu. I mean, you're a numbers guy. So the voting percentage among Liberians within the Liberian community, the voting percentage is 38%. Do you know the voting percentage of the Somali community? 78%. So the Somalis show up to vote. We don't show up to vote. And that's part of what we're trying to change. We're trying to get folks to understand why it's important. And so another argument is that, well, maybe the reason they have not been so excited about voting is because they have not seen someone who looked like them, who share their values, who have their lived experiences and all of that on a ticket. So maybe now that we do, maybe things would be different. We pray that things will be different now. I ran for city council before I won. I left city council. I ran for mayor. I didn't win. Now I'm running for the state house. So there are different levels, and all these different levels you're running come with different strategy and different things. And so this is my first time running for the house. So it's a little different than running for city council, because the main difference is that the city council is non-partisan. The house, running for anything above city council, the house or the Senate level, it is strictly partisan. So this race is between two Democrats. We will meet the Republican winner of the primary in November. So the other Democrat I'm running against, like I said, is a Kenyan lady who just moved into the district that is heavily Liberian 8 months ago, and she's trying to, take their seat. So I encourage you all to show up to vote. If you need a ride, you can give us a call, and we'll come and pick you up and take you. If you don't know where you need to vote or where your polling place is, because as you guys know, here, you cannot truck people from one area to another area. It's not like the stuff that we know that happens in other places. So you have to be in the district to vote in that district, and then you have to be within that precinct to vote in the polling station that is assigned within that precinct. So you have all these different things that you have to do. And I know it gets confusing for a lot of our people, but if you all can just pin our number and have them call us, we appreciate that, because we have people, we have a bank of computers where people will be answering calls and trying to look up polling places, the addresses to polling places, and where people can go and get ride. We have a van that was donated by Waterside Market, like I said, but there are a lot of individuals who are using their vehicles too as well to take people to the poll. So I would just share the number, 612-283-1859, 612-283-1859. You can call me, you can call Trickham Page, you can call Frances Tyler, you can call Kamadi, the community leader. You can call the any of these community leaders, Samuel G. or Victoria from the Nimba County Association, Kaimon Cully from the Bong County Association, Mr. Peen from the Grand Bassa Association, Ashford and Nehemiah Gali from the Crown community. Any one of these community leaders, they were part of the team. They're working, and we try to get people to get to the poll, or identify where you need to go to vote in your particular precinct.
Thank you, Mr. Russell. Any last message for the people, and then we can call it. Any last message?
No, I mean, I think this is it. I think that was my closing there. I just want to
Okay.
say thanks again to you all, and we encourage everybody to show up to the pool once again. I mean, you call us or call any one of these guys that know how to get a hold of us, and we'll be able to provide you a transportation or tell you where your polling station is. And so hopefully, the next time we meet will be the celebratory time, and you all will have your T-shirt from Tourmaline.
Yeah, now I know he has it. I will get on his back.
All right, guys. Thanks.
All right,
It was so nice seeing you again, my brother.
Hopefully, we'll have a little.
So good to see you, Wilfred. Look forward to the picture tomorrow.
All right, Mr. Gonglu, thank you, brother Tourmaline, and Mr. Gibson. Is it Julia Gibson? I see. Okay, and Dr.
She's a member of your team.
Yeah, Julia is a member of my team, but I see there was somebody else that the name. That's why I got me confused.
He said primary is tomorrow, August 13th. You can still vote today at City Hall, Brooklyn Park City, 52200.
Oh, that message was from Julia. Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Oh, got you. I'm sorry. I thought it was somebody on the screen. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Much love.
We appreciate you, man. Wish you
Okay.
the best.
Thank you. Bye.
Yes. All right, guys, go and vote. There will be an opportunity for Liberians. Go out and vote for Mr. Russell tomorrow. If you live in the Brooklyn Park, Minnesota area, the numbers are there. Please go and vote for Mr. Russell. Liberia needs to be represented. With that said, let's get back. We're back on the politics right now. Alex June had just talked about the recent audit that was done within the Senate and the misappropriation of funds. We've also been talking about the guy that was appointed today to head the central bank and the package that he comes with. So, Kelabu, you are going to weigh in, and then we'll go to the dependent, the other guys that just came. You're going to weigh in.
Yes,
on that.
yeah. So I will say this. I read this truth on Front Page Africa. Now, the reason why I wait the chance to even make a first comment to Alex Jones is I was just sitting down here thinking, this is closing argument. We all know loyalty to no one. Here, we discuss the issues, but when personality involved in the issue, we discuss your personality. Now, if you think of what this audit is talking about, that the legislature overspend, even double spend on things that already been done, guys, let's face it. The legislature, all of them do not collectively get involved. There are offices responsible, committees, the Ways and Means and Finance, the Rules and Administration, the Office of the Speaker, the President Pro Tem, and all these committees. If you look there in the legislature today, who are the guys? Who are the potential culprit in this public theft? That's Jeremiah Kuhn, that's Prince Moi, that's Thomas Fala, that's Abachie, the list go on. These are the corporate, these are the potential corporate on this public theft and looting of the country. But these are the very people we have as our leaders. Like Alex Jones said, who do we take the complaint to? To the legislature? Because these are the corporates. And that is a shameful thing in this country. Our country is a disgrace. Because we don't even know who to go to. When you look at the executive mansion, it's in total chaos. This is the executive mansion that says, I will ignore any ethical consideration in choosing who my running mate will be. I will go to even the devil. I only want raw power to have my retirement or benefits secure. That was Walker's mantra. That even if it means it takes to level Liberia to become president, I will level Liberia to become president. So I will go to the west of the west. I just want vote. I just want power. So we are in a quagmire. Where do you go? Where do you go? You go to the judiciary, they'll say, well, do you have a standing under the law to do what you want to do? No. So there is a marriage of theft, between the executive and the legislature, and it did not start with Bouaka. It did not start with Weah. It did not start with Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. But Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, actually, the Sirleaf Bouaka administration institutionalized the bribery of the legislature. That's why the legislature became the fastest business for the first time in the history of Liberia. The fastest business with high yield profit in the country, because you can see that every single person who in the legislature, there is a reason why many of them have not published an asset declaration. If they publish it, and if you know them from where they were before joining the legislature, you say, wow. The one person that published his asset is Jeremiah Kum. He made more than $30 million in less than 14 years. More than $30 million. He joined the legislature with less than $5,000 US in his account. And he made more than $40 million. So you can see that what kind of business in the world, even Elon Musk will not make that kind of profit on electric car. Because he's competing with, he has other competitors on the market. But in the Liberian legislature, there's no competition. The competition is among thieves. This Liberia has become a country where thieves are competing. Who has the best quality to steal the most from our public coffers? Then that's what's going on in the country. I can't even talk about the audit, because where do I take my complaint? To the legislature? It's sad.
Yes, Sylvester, welcome. Yeah, where do we take our complaints? But if you look, the same Abo chair who was sanctioned, he's heading major committee right now, on public work, and he's the head of that. He's still making decisions within that area there. You look at Nukwe, he's there. Those are the correction King Kong or the correction Maradona. We haven't like bro, you know. But Sylvester, Chairman, you've been following the story, Chairman.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to be back on the show. I think we have to go to the forensic analyst now in terms of determining how many people get. So Kerebu have to tell how he got to know that this man got 30 million. You see, sometimes we can be. I understand how it was serious.
In the asset declaration, I
come in there.
No, but don't lie now. I will interrupt.
I'm not lying. You know, to come and say somebody got 30 million for corruption. What's the determination? What's the barometer you using here to come and say that? Right? And for me, I love to be. I'm not saying I listen to you very quietly, and I was very, very much
because I was saying truth.
You have not. You always that
one I can give it to you.
You always blatantly. No, my point is
that I can leave personal argument today, but I will not sit here and you misquote me.
My point is that
whether you are a Cato panelist, I don't give a damn for that.
I read it, and I will hope you.
Slow down, slow down,
No. But that's it. Leave it here, quiet. Karabu is not talking to. You know, I don't take nerve to a gun war.
Government. That's what we're here for. That's why the closing argument. Guys,
nerve to highlighting stuff here. I don't take nerve to a gun war. If you start with a handgun, I will bring bazooka to the fight. And I'm prepared to do
that. That's what the closing argument is here for.
Right. I don't take nerve to a gun war. So listen, if you run thing like a spring kicking around the place, I don't do those things. But here's what I would say to us. One of the things I will always say in this place, I have had no conversation whatsoever with the Vice President Kum for many, many years. I don't have it with him. There's no chemistry between us. But what I'm saying to us here is that sometimes it is good to handle it sometimes to say alleged or allegedly, to come out and blatantly with no iota of evidence and say this person is corrupt. It's just now so that Mr. Gongro himself understand the fact here that he wouldn't just come out and say this kind of a thing or issue with other personality here in other society. That's what I'm just saying. I'm not saying you cannot come, but on the show, for the sake of the show, to come and say someone is corrupt, someone is corruption King Kong, meaning the court of our country may have charged, that we have made charges against the person, adjudicated the person, and found them guilty. To just call someone else's father or the personality of those. Look at the one thing I listen to sometimes, I listen to his philosophical messages that come along with his songs. He said he take how many millions of years to build his reputation, but it's just the cost of sometimes. I'm not referring to you in this line, Kerebu, but Dr. Dubin, his son, said one would take many years to build a very good reputation and character, but it just take one stupid fool to destroy. I listen to those lines, and the reason Dr. Dubin said those things is that people will have to take time to go after someone. They will have to be the court process, and that's why we have the court process to condemn people. That's the first and foremost thing. I will end there. So I will all should be better to sometimes say allegedly or use the word allege. It's important. It gave you room to re-go through the system. That's what I thought to them. Moving on, there are a lot of wonderful things unfolding back in the country, and we got responsibility as folks to be the watchdog of society. If we are watchdog of society, we've come with the balance skill here. And that's the difficult part of the system back in Liberia. Everyone is fronting. And here's the problem where I will have some issue. No, the reason why, and I'm not, again, let me back out a little bit and say this, that I believe here the reason Kerebu is sometimes, look at me calling him Kerebu. Mr. Gongo is often at times hitting on Senator Vice President Kun, is that Kun hit him high, hit something high. So he's not happy about it. Kun hit his sister very high before, defeated his sister. So that bitterness is there.
Okay, that shot fire.
That bitterness is there. And let's be very frank, you didn't desist from doing those kind of that politics. They may beat your sister politically. She didn't march him. When you want to bring that animosity to bear to always attack his person, I would think we should desist. That's not politics. That's not politics. The young man is vibrant in the county. He's impacted other people in the county. Even voted for him. It is because of those kind of a tendency. Leave aside. They came to the political contestation. It was a political contestation, and he defeated Edith Gongro well. It is because of that today you dragging that. You always take things, you call the man corruption King Kong with no level of conviction against the man personality in the country. How do you call him one of corruption King Kong? Nobody have ever indicted him. Nobody have ever prosecuted and convicted him. Then where in the world you come and call him corruption King Kong? It's based on hearsay. Are we going to be erratic in our thought process to just come and call someone corrupt when the person has not been adjudicated and convicted by a competent court of jurisdiction of our republic? We don't do that in the democracy we find ourselves. We believe in pluralistic democracy. It's part of the democratization of our society. But part of that, our mindset should be democratized. That's the wrinkle. That's the stage we have to move through the system. I don't interact with any of them, but I believe in the neo-progressive standard. That mantra, seeking the interest of the people, the mass base of our people. If John Paul is found guilty of something, if the court deemed him, if the court condemned him, I will follow the process to call him a criminal. But if the court have not done that, I would want to polish it a little bit to say allegedly, so I will have a room to re-go through the system in the event that I cannot follow justify the process. My dear brother Alex Jones here. I have always cautioned my brother of some line when he came in the Liberian politics, sometimes not understanding the environment very carefully. I have put the line that again the elementary review have to understand the step have to move to. And himself a little bit needs to be a little bit that fire and freeway process. I have to bring that to my brother. We had it for the presidency, right? Little bit he didn't listen to me well, but again, the fire and what I predicted it happened. And now we're having conversation. And I hope we will put him on the record, and he can move on and make some very impactful process to the country. I will hope, Mr. Gongolo, you follow the same and you being in bureaucracy before you understand the bureaucratic procedure of our country. I will end here by saying, let's go handle sometimes say, we use the word alleged or allegedly involved in this. So to come and say someone is corrupt, meaning the court have condemned them. No court in the Republic of Liberia have ever condemned Jeremiah Kwan, vice president of the Republic of Liberia, of corruption. And I will stand here today. And if anybody want to say whatsoever, capital whatsoever thing, my conscience is clear. No court condemned the young man. Why should we condemn him in the absence of that? Why?
Yeah, you know.
All right. So yes, and I'll comment because he mentioned my name. When I spoke here, I did not mention his name, so he mentioned my name. So let me respond to Pew and his surrogates. Here are my response. But before I go, let me just clarify some things. I think Pew, which is classical of the Neo Progressive, I don't know what school of thought Neo Progressive belong to. They don't research. They contradict themselves every time. Here is a inherent contradiction in what he says. If we go by Pew's standard, it means there is no corrupt person in Liberia because there are very few records of the courts of Liberia convicting anybody for public corruption. Point me one, in the last 20 years, point me one, where the court convicted someone of corruption for stealing government money, or even based on other reports.
But we have perception problem of corruption.
So no,
we'll
go by your standard.
Did any other report condemn the main report also? How do you determine someone is corrupt now? Therefore,
no, amen.
How do you therefore determine someone is corrupt?
You're progressive. I'm going by your standard.
No,
your
standard is both the other reports and we're talking about institutional process. Out of the court or our
you study political science. Me, I study mathematics.
No. Yeah, my study mathematics.
Mathematics.
I did mathematics also. So
you guys study political science. And your logic can be blurred sometimes.
No, sometimes as you think, right? It will be blurred to you, or you don't understand the chemistry of the political dialectics we try to go.
If you
don't understand that, listen. If there is no
dialectics.
Yes.
What does he know about dialectics?
No. That way you'll be struggling with something, right? You say,
what do you know?
What do you know? What I'm saying to you, Mr. Gongolo, is for you to understand we're not talking 1 + 1 is 2.
Okay, but let me
no, we're not talking. We are doing.
Mr. Gongolo, can I come in, please?
Guys, responding. And I will respond. You're coming, Alex. Let me.
You want a bad time? I'm saying that you hate that man because the man defeated your sister. As they hate you back from him.
I will also respond to that. I told Tomlin how I will respond to it, so Tomlin knows how I will respond.
And why don't stop that?
So I come to respond to that.
Stop that.
And you stop
argument. That's what we do.
No. That's it. And too many. I beg you. Anyway, you guys found out. I don't talk to the vice president who don't have that chemistry. Nothing whatsoever. I'm saying this. I'm trying to say this right. I don't talk to him. I will point the fallacy in your logic. First. No, but you've been struggling for the past 2 minutes to point it out. You will not point it out. And they give you the next 10 minutes, you struggle. You're not pointing it out.
You knew I was struggling and you interrupted me. So
no, you are struggling. I'm trying to help you.
Guys, that made progress, man. That made progress.
You are struggling to put the
people are saying that. People are saying the struggle can be about your two. So let me progress.
All right, guys. Let me just say
I'll be quick. I'll be quick on this so Alex Jones can come in. Maybe I will reserve some of my comments for later interaction. But let me just point out. I'll come to his.
You tell Lufa to stop the kind of a erratic way, or he can be responding online. Why you say man should control? We having interaction. He says man should control. Lufa stop those things, man. You can be why you actually doing that kind of line too?
Can you let me talk?
Lufa anti-Kuntos.
I'll carry me walking mountain behind the walking mountain.
Yeah, we'll go ahead. We got to move on, guys. We got a lot to talk about.
I just want to be very quick. I'm not going to go on all of things that I jotted down to talk. I'm not going to talk on that. I'm going to talk on a few things. Just deal with the fallacy in his argument. So as I was saying, if your argument is people court conviction, we can call them corrupt, then I think Liberia is less corrupt compared to any country in Africa, probably any country in the world, because we have fewer to zero court conviction of public officials who have engaged in corruption. But people, when you serve in public service, you don't need to have court conviction. Even lifestyle audit, lifestyle changes can tell the people in the community what you are doing, can give them an idea. If you are riding Babi Solo or motorcycle, if you're riding tricycle and you become assistant minister, besides government car, you get 4 other private cars. You building a house, and your salary cannot build it down. You must be getting it from somewhere. Lifestyle change can also show to the people what you're doing.
Okay.
And how,
that should you come in now?
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be court conviction. I just want to tell this.
Order to find out what the person what the reason what the
when you're talking, I didn't talk. Because we're educating the public. Some people say, "Oh, there's no court conviction." There are others who think like you people. That's why I'm actually taking time to respond to you. That in our country, the endemic corruption in public service, we don't have to wait for court conviction. Because in the last 50 years, you cannot point how many persons have been convicted in the court based on corruption in public service. You can't point to that. Probably few to zero, you'll find. So I want to just disabuse of mind of that argument. It's a feeble argument, and it's a shame that a former minister of government or in or public diplomacy or whatever would make such an argument. I'll put that one side.
Let Alex come in. Alex,
all right. I will rest here. Let Alex come in, but I have 3 counter arguments I will make.
So guys, I think what usually happens here is we trivialize the problems in Liberia and the suffering in Liberia with the people, and that's why they don't take none of you politician or Sylvester seriously. You're talking about a country that the United States government officially condemned corruption in Liberia. Okay, the State Department, Transparency International, one of the most credible institutions in the world, ranked Liberia as one of the most corrupt countries in the world. Okay, yeah. I mean, the same way I used to be on the other program, Team Max Show and stuff. You supported the George Weah administration. George Weah fired McGill for corruption after the U.S. sanctioned him. So was he tried?
Was he convicted? McGill resigned.
Hold on, hang on here. He was asked to resign as Minister of State.
No, he resigned.
Okay, hang on here now. So you were in that government. So you're saying that George Weah made a bad decision because he asked his Minister of State to resign, even though he was not convicted in a court of law?
He didn't ask him to resign. He saw the letter. He resigned on his own volition.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. He asked McGill to resign. McGill's press conference. In McGill's own press conference. So if all these international institutions, okay, can come out that do extensive report on all countries in the world, and nobody can question it, who are you to kind of say Liberian officials are not corrupt? You think they go by conviction rate? No, they do not. It's a common knowledge in Liberia. The mere fact that officials have not been even audited. The president today, his office, it's never been audited. So how can you say he's not corrupt? Jeremiah Kun has not been audited in his Senate role.
I think that's a
then besides that, if he has accumulated wealth, is it a practical thing in Liberia for someone to just accumulate $30 million on his own and that person is working in government? How many Liberians can accumulate $1 million in a lifetime or even $200,000 in a lifetime with all working for government? So, I mean, it would be a child's play to sit here and trivialize Liberian situation and say the other person because they haven't been convicted. Ellis Johnson Sirleaf claimed that Samuel Doe was corrupt. Was Samuel Doe convicted in any court of law? The war in Liberia was based on corruption. Just stop this joke while the people are suffering, Pee-wee. You understand that, most of you guys, you take politics in Liberia to be like a game with the people's lives. Okay, you're well taken off, you get your top position, But the average, if a 6-year-old in Liberia knows that the country is corrupt and the government officials are corrupt, and you want to sit here, and the United States government can say the country is corrupt, and you want to sit here, Jerome Verder, one of the anti-corruption specialists in Liberia, was on this very show. He was head of corruption. He was head of the anti-corruption.
James.
He said that the country is corrupt. James Verder.
Yeah.
And Jerome too have said the same thing. You have no, you just sit there and say, oh, because somebody has not been convicted. What world do you live in, Pee-wee?
Okay. Can I come in?
No, let people not talk. Let's move on because they made a new progressive. You got nothing to offer.
No, but
never defended them. Only defended.
But man, our chair is corrupt to the core. He's a serious corrupt guy to the core.
Guys, let me weigh in, right? Look, right now, I was talking to somebody today. This morning, we're talking about the situation in Liberia, and it's so appalling. First of all, if anybody to think that anything will change in Liberia right now, it will be hard. For the fact that all the guys that are involved in the audit, just look at the audit from GSC on the legislature. Look at that document. I just put it in the chat room. And all the people that are involved, connected, they are in key position in the government. So you think Boubacar they want to look at these people now, or all the people that and they hold the same position, ways and means, they in top position. If you think they are going to go after them and start to prosecute them, you must be joking. So right now, what I learned today, there are some folks right now, because what used to happen back in the day, right? Back in the day when Doe was president, you had Liberians that were so powerful in America. What used to do? Go to Congress. Because the only people that Liberia can listen to is the U.S. Congress and the United States government. Until they act, before we can come to our senses. What they are doing right now, they are being kettled, they're piling things now on the trucks, moving trucks that came in the country, they pile it up. As soon as election over, I can tell you, they were moved to the Congress and they would start handing out sanctions on our people. Right now, today I saw a report, very, very, very sickening. Liberia is we are the highest African country that we did not visa by the U.S. government. Can you imagine? Liberia was before. People to come to America just for a weekend. If you remember back in the day, before the war, we had British Caledonia, we had KLM, all these planes, Lufthansa were flying our small Roberts Field. You get a visa, you come for weekend, and you go back. But today we are the highest. They deny visas to our officials. I'll tell one of the officials. I said, look, it's a shame that you guys gotta even be going for the embassy for visa. Back in the days, just a letter to write. I mean, you know the word. There's an attachment in the foreign ministry write, and they send it to the embassy.
Note for birth.
All those who want to come on that trip, yes, they will come on that trip. If I'm traveling, I want 5 person to come with me. All will come. All will come visa and come. But today, our officials are being denied visa like crazy. It's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. It's a shame. And all the things you see happening with all these audits and so forth. And lastly, just before I land, I've noticed that all the people that have supported the rescue mission, and I mean, I see all of them today turning against them. My friends, my friend Martin Colley, Stanton Witherspoon, all of them. When you listen to them on platform, yeah, I don't know what the reason. They are now attacking the rescue team, attacking them about what's happening. But they didn't know that it was going to happen. For me, and I told people, you have better candidates in the race, but he said no. You settle on the worst ones. Okay? At the end of the day, we got 5 years to go for it. And some people say they just cannot stand 5 years. So look, we gotta be serious. We gotta be serious, because it's a serious thing happening in our country. And until we can get our acts together, it's a shame. So we can talk all day on the platform. Hey man, what's this, man? Stop it, man. On the call. Stop it, man. Yeah. Until we can get our acts together, it will be like this for a long time. We need to take it serious though, because you and I in America today is different. Okay, we're different, but people in Liberia now, and what's happening now? People in the government are sending reports to people. Okay, even if I'm part of the rescue team and I see that we support it and we what was promised to do for the people who are not doing it, I send reports to people now. I'm leaking information out. That's what's happening now, because we are in the chat rooms. We're in the chat rooms there, and you're surprised at what's happening right now. It's a shame. So if you think that thing gonna change, it's a joke. I saw today the president, he was wearing rubber sets. I mean, just to go open your court. That's you just saying the dean of the Supreme Court bar, just the minister of Oxford Twe. He can go there with the chief justice, open a court. First, it'll take all that time, resources to go open court in rubber sets. And I saw something.
Look at the road that he was riding.
He was meeting the zones. Now they're fighting now. The paper they have, the Basel paper they call Zanzan Kawa. They're not moving from there now. Because Yomeni, that guy who threatened to kill somebody, who's the minister of internal affairs, he removed the guy and they're fighting now. And it's gonna be there for a long time. And what they are doing right now, like somebody was saying, well, if you have a position in the government, they tell you, okay, we'll not prosecute, but that negotiate your severance pay. We'll pay you to put our friends in a position. And that's the problem that gets to me is that the arrogance. These guys have the audacity to do something great. You see them, and most of the guys, we know them. We also see them too. I remember before, people. Let me end on this. One time in Liberia, we're visiting Liberia, and I think we're at my girl's place. My girl say, "You watch, you all see your put opposition coming on. You come to my house tonight." And the very person today that in rescue, they all were going there for school fees, for rent, for this and that. They were going to my girl's place. So today they empower now. You see them acting like to say they are the real deal. But if their behavior continues, I can tell you guys, we should be expect anything to happen in our country, because people now everybody's going to start up for it.
You know, and look, let me add to what let me add to what Timlin just said. I am always, concerned. What is this government job that people go there and the next thing is to steal? People actually just run to get these positions, and it's all about enriching themselves. If you look from the onset, folks are rushing, they are giving these jobs, and the next thing is stealing. Liberia don't have a credible justice system. I will say it. People won't get mad with me. You can get mad with me. Our justice system is very poor. And for that reason, nobody can be persecuted in that country because of our family, ethnic connection, or what. Nobody be persecuted. Look at the man the president appointed today to head the central bank as the deputy governor for operation. This dude already had defaulted on the 90,000 loan that he cannot pay. He can't even pay. He couldn't pay back. Okay, and you take this same guy with this questionable character and take him to control the operations of the bank because he got some connection or some relationship to you. Even the governor that he appointed, there's a long rap sheet of he having funding deal with these Lebanese business people. You take him and make him the head, the Samoa guy who happened to be related. It is alleged that he's related to President Bouaka. He's the nephew to President Bouaka. So you place him in there. In fact, there was a report out last week that out of the 1,231, 650 are from the president ethnic group. Now you have some foolish people on Facebook, or they're not Liberians. But if you would divide the country like that, ethnically, that's a problem. If you take all the job and just give it to one group of people because they're from your ethnic group, even though they're Liberian, that's a problem we have in there. Okay, and we are seeing this going and going. So, in the absence of a very credible justice system that can actually hand down decision independently without any interference, we have this problem. That's why you have all the audits and nothing's going to happen. They're going to make this a grandstanding, or they arrested this person, or they took them to jail. The moment the person gets the bond, it's a dead case. Because some of the people that are arresting the people, some of the people that are accusing the people of corruption, they and these people have funny business deal. By the time they expose them, then the whole case die right there. The audit report will be there. The justice system is already rotting anyway, and then nothing happened. I'm saying it today, August 12th. Watch all the other reports that are coming. Why all the people that they have accused that should be indicted or whatever, most of them, 9 out of 10 of the other cases will be dead upon arrival, bro. That's the kind of
it's true though, and look, Chuchu, let me tell you something. Honestly, if you think that what's happening, all these things, I hear people talking, and just because people won't prove a point. So our friends then that today they're in the Senate in position, they won't prove a point that, oh yeah, we got someone in jail handcuffed. Yeah, he was handcuffed. He was handcuffed, and that's why we succeeded in doing that. That's all. After that, they're all vla. Not your father. All these things we're talking about. Like somebody said the other day. Now, one person, 176 years. I don't want to do. One person do try. He put people in jail for corruption. When Army June beat the people and put them in jail. Since that time, the last time I saw President Weah, when he put the former president's son got handcuffed, and then at least he showed some courage to say, well, you can be president's son, I will still go after you. So now other people want to pay debt. And at the end of the day, honestly, to prove up, and as the former president, I was in Liberia when I found out that the last day of the election, former president decided to support Boga. He said yes. That's how our politics is looking. To support Boga to be elected. And it's a serious thing in our country. Look, we have election tomorrow. The simple will be the finalists. Because we're not ready here in our country. We just talk. So right now, it will take people to do the extra mile to say, look, we're gonna go forward. And I repeat, the only people that our country listen to is America. Because tell me, America sanctioned the Taylor administration, and Taylor was completed backs. He had nothing. He couldn't do nothing. They put embargo on him. Everything. He couldn't do nothing. When they came to President Salih, she played the game. She had lobbyists in Washington D.C. Pay lobbyists that block everything. She was able to join the U.S. Congress. Okay, for doing her first term. We had lobbyists, but the lobbyists on it, and they get free money. They did nothing. So as a result, what happened? When the time came, they just sanctioned officials. And the minute sanction McGill, we actually knew that, okay, they put something a warning that the guy who I trust my confidant, senior confidant, when I'm traveling, I leave in charge of the country. They sanction him. You know what? After that, they're coming. It's Solicitor General, everybody. And so it's like getting serious. Now, Boga administration coming, they're still trying to, but now look at this early stage, 30 months. People already making noise, people crying about different stuff. Okay? But we're watching. But look, Peabody, Pee-wee and Chuchu, tonight you'll take a chance. You'll read about what happened in Guinea, Burkina Faso, and this country. The military boss, what they're doing there now. The people, it's evidence that they're happy. The boss are making progress in the country. The resources of the country, they're being used in the country. They're creating jobs. They're building infrastructures. Okay? They don't get nothing about the legislature. They care for that stuff right now. No legislature business. The people the man riding, the president of Burkina Faso, he riding one old 2011 car. The only three person in a convoy. In Liberia, I was in Liberia. When one person passing, Chuchu, in Liberia, in the traffic, you will see, they have these colorful lights. Who that? Oh, that representative Tommy George passing. Oh, that's the people passing. With fastest car convoy. And I all love to show off in the traffic of the job. Morale. When they get there and see that. And that's why some of them right now, they didn't care. But mind you, I'll tell him somebody today, come 2026, 27, You see them calling your phone. My man, yeah, because now election coming. Like for instance, before I end, the guy who running for senator in Monserrado County, 2029, that boy, the good thing about got good money. He got good money. So the boy's already making impact in Liberia. So I can tell you, when that boy announced his candidacy, Monserrado forget it. I don't care who's running, that boy win. I don't care what people say. The boy organizing his base in Liberia or in the district. So my friend Dylan, like you said, you're not running again. Yeah, just do what you can do because you're not going to stand that guy. He will take that seat from you. I can tell you for a fact.
Who going to be challenging him?
Has the lawyer announced that he's not running officially?
You know, told me he's not running again, but I know he will.
But he didn't say it publicly.
But the man, I mean,
Yeah, but Timmy, if I can just piggyback off of what you just said. I just respond to what you get a time.
No, but that
way coming
to yeah.
Just 2 minutes to
I don't think there's a monologue. But anyway, go ahead.
The fact here, Timmy, none of us, no serious person or any educated thinking person would believe that Joseph Boakai government is capable of any corruption like when itself is corrupt. Okay, Joseph Boakai is corrupt. He's serving a corrupt government. Like I said, because people think corruption means going to take money from the coffers. When you give me almost $2 million every year, your office, and you can't show any account of where that money went, how it was spent, you are corrupt. It's called misappropriation. It's a form of corruption. So you got people like recently when the LPRC took a loan unconstitutionally, the yellow machine. So nobody's unaware. I don't think the Liberian people. I think what people are underestimating the Liberian people. And I always told you on this show, yeah, the Liberian people are a very funny set of people. They can give a lot before they take. If you go back to Doe, Samuel Kanyon Doe did a lot to the people for 10 years. When the people got ready for him, he fell like a dog. Same thing with Taylor. Taylor was the most powerful man in West Africa, warlord, everything. When the people got ready for him, where is he today? Ellen King, when the people turned against her, we are the most celebrated person in Liberia. This is the process of development. You have a stage where you see all kinds of corruption, all kinds of malfeasance, but then it will change. You know, beyond 2029, people are waking up now. When we used to be seeing that these two parties are not going to deliver anything, you guys are on this very platform. I got all the tips. The Sylvester Peary were on all the different shows. What is show name? Sylvester Peary, where I used to beat you every day on. What is show name? State of the Nation.
If you can beat me anywhere, they will manifest there.
State of the Nation. What I mean, intellect. You don't have a case. You are backing something that does not have any substance. What's your argument?
You know, you can't beat me on nothing.
We're talking about corruption today. Hang on, we're talking about corruption today. Show me one public official in Liberia who can come up clean and say, audit me. Yes, my record. Yes, why I spent all the money that was allocated to me. Not one. They all have embezzled the country money. And now what's happening, the Liberian people know that, and they will vote against these people at the right time. You just wait and see.
Okay.
That's what I want to say. Keep hope.
Okay.
Keep hope alive. You know, some are just sitting down waiting. You know, the dust will settle. The last chance was Joseph Boakai because they felt that Joseph Boakai was going to come. He's an elderly state man. You know, when we're making the case that this man has proven nothing, he's just the corrupt, like the Sawyer administration and the early administration. They've seen it with their own eyes now.
Granted,
they're living it and seeing it. So after this, I think they would think wisely after this point.
Granted, and let me say this clear, so most of our folks will understand our position basically. And I should not be the best. I'm not craving to be one, but all of the processes I went through, I believe in my personal self that the way I look at things from the perspective, I look at things as the kind of a level of exposure I've had is sufficient enough for me to balance things. And that's my basic concept here. And I can recall when we on most of the different shows like Crossfire and the rest of the shows we met on before, moving towards the campaign process in our country. And I did advance to you a lot of bureaucratic policy. And I was saying to you where were some of those slippages you were headed to. And I advised you personally that professionals do slip. We refer to that as professional slippages, right? If they involve or engage or indulge into those kind of a thing. I've advised you that into the Liberian bureaucratic proceedings of our body politics, there are where we engage, there are where we indulge into those things. And listen, I hate for people to be sentimental. I don't be sentimental when I engage in things. What I engage in, I always want to be soberly reflective on how I want to engage fundamental issues that are tied to policy orientations. Because there are major policy prescriptions that we have to analyze and push back to those things. For instance, my time with the GSE trained me to be very much sober in terms of analyzing audit processes and the way people react to audit issue and corruption. The process of corruption in our country is a perception problem. Many of our folks on the Facebook feed won't understand these things. They will come and lambast you. And in the way and form they want to lambast you will be personal sometimes because they hate you saying what they don't want to hear. But most of them that will crave into a personal line of being very intelligent and introduces the skill of intelligence into the thought process of how our systems are unfolding. They will want to cool off sometimes. They say, I think that guy was saying something reasonable. No, but at this stage, they will want to lambast you. No, I don't care about that. As a political person, I should have a thick skin if I know I'm saying something that I believe in terms of ideological thought process. And that's the kind of a person I am. I don't just move into things because I want to do them. No, I don't do that. There are folks who say, oh, the person is looking for a job. Come on. If I wanted a job and the issue is that, listen, life is not such, I'm not kind of an extraordinarily extravagant person. I'm not extravagant. But I live in my comfort zone. And that's me, Chuchu. I live in my comfort zone. I love comfortability, right? And I live into that zone. I can tell anyone in terms of what I eat, in terms of what I wear, in terms of what I sleep, in terms of how I move about, in terms of even the friends that I established as an adult. So that's the person I am. I don't have to be a sycophant or opportunistic element. I'm not an opportunist. I'm not. So I would love to gradually push into things that I'm biased and independent. I listen to my own dear big brother Jonathan saying, oh, before the full thing you're talking about where you're working. No. Even before I went to government, 2018, when I started government job 2018, I was around moving as a private young advocate in the society, got my own way of moving and own mobility. I didn't go to government before I built a house. No, I didn't do that. I didn't do that, Mr. Gongolo. No. It was that. So the basic is that we have to focus on the process, and it's not issue about government. I don't have to be in government to live in the or to live anywhere in the world.
Policy prescription. That will
I'm coming here. That's what I'm going to now. We will have to push to those policies that can be beneficial to the people of Liberia. Now, one of the things I'm saying to be one major part of policy also is accountability. And I agree, and I adhere to the tenets of accountability. How do we go about implementing the process of genuine accountability? Now, to strike that process, we will have to be very careful as to how we intend to do things, remove perception from our thought process. Now, for instance, it's true today. You sat here today. The day you are appointed in the bureau, I'm just saying something for classic example. As Minister of Public Works, nobody want to know what you earned here before. People perceive you to be corrupt.
But just for the record, you and Kelabov, you are two former assistant ministers. You are a former assistant minister in Ellen government. You are in We Are government. Just for the record.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. He's we are comrades of the same line.
Two former.
Yeah, right. So,
and both of them were never audited. Both of them were never audited. So they both can be accused of corruption.
We can be allegedly accused. We can be allegedly accused. I like that you do.
But it's true, you're never audited. How can you claim you're not corrupt?
I like that. But
everybody stopped then I will talk.
Yeah, is why I like what you just said. Now, both of you are not audited. Both of you can be allegedly accused of what you didn't allegedly.
No, I would make the claim that you are guilty until proven innocence. If you're
but it's not our system. And if you're using that system, that's one of the things I say.
Because you took an oath. You took an oath.
If we are speaking realistically, you are far off the box. There's nowhere in the world, even in the country that enjoys the beacon of democracy today, the great United States of America, you are proven what? You are innocent until proven otherwise. That does not fit into our society. It doesn't. Now, the legal process that our Liberian jurisprudence provide that one would be innocent until proven otherwise. So listen, if you don't,
and that jurisprudence is being questioned and is incapable, even the
United
States government does not respect it.
Go and do some constitutional process. Even the very great United States, there are
I don't know if you will end this talk so I can talk to.
No. I will end soon. But yeah,
you just beating around the bush.
Yes, until we can stop the mindset of loose accusation and begin the process of implementing real policy process, we will not head nowhere, because we are very seriously conflicted as individual citizens of our country.
I think most of you guys
are very conflicted. Even our very people that are not even major party actors. It's not only the major party actors will be engaged into this kind of a thing.
Let me ask a question. Okay, you guys can weigh in. So why, during the elections, right? The last election, the people that were supporting the rescue team, they were very passionate about making change in the country. They said no time to waste, they would change. But today I found out so quick, in 7 months, almost most of the guys who are passionate about supporting, they are now they are against what's happening now. What's happening?
And not all of them are Timothy. If you look at the ones that were given position, the more allies and the ones that were given position, right? They are still very much passionate about the government. They are not making that, even the dollars they long. It is tender widows who are on the fringes because they didn't get what they wanted. These are selfish individuals who are only using the medium to promote things for their own personal gain. You don't see anybody in the government are making money complaining about the government, right?
So what you say about John Malou?
John Malou is not in the government. If John Malou were in the government, John
Malou, Martin, all these guys there who are now today, they are the one who they attack dogs. Okay, Jeff, y'all keep John Malou in your prayers. His son is going through some medical stuff, and that's why he will not be all this week. So you're keeping in your prayers, please. Okay, but go ahead. Why do you think about all the guys?
So John Malou is well respected. John Malou, I think his analysis are on point. I think he really wanted to fight corruption. He really wanted to do execute stuff. So I'll give him an exception. And when he served with distinction. He brought about corruption cases. So he's an exception. Martin Colley has no credibility. Okay, because Martin Colley on the very network was the very one who naively supported Joseph Boakai, claimed that Joseph Boakai was the most, he had integrity. When he asked him what the definition of integrity, he couldn't even explain that. He's read his paper is very biased. He doesn't say anything about the government, the people that he likes in the government. He criticizes, he's very biased. So it's clear Martin Colley has zero credibility in terms of
it's a strong because I mean the people about Chuchu. Honestly, for the fact that Martin was one of the first to say no, I'm going to jump out of the train. I mean, and besides that,
But Martin Colley has not condemned Boakai's corruption, past or present. So he's blaming Sylvester, the Minister of State, for Boakai's decision. He's blaming everybody else for Boakai. Does that make any kind of logical sense that you hold the person who is underneath the leader responsible and not hold the leader responsible? He claimed that Boakai has this experience. That's why he supported Boakai. But what Boakai has been doing in terms of the very selection of people, is that expedient? See? So Martin Colley is a lost young man. I thought he was an intellectual, but based on his own, his mismatched approach, he's confused. He came to this government because of his personal relationship with certain people in the government that are close to the government. Kafuna, who he promoted now for finance minister. When Kafuna was finance minister, where were Liberia growth and development? Where was corruption? So he's very lost. You know, it's unfortunate because I thought he was a bright man. I would sit down and intellectualize things and really give analysis. But he's been wrong.
I disagree with you about Martin. Martin's I think he's a very smart intellectual. I think he means well.
Well, he's smartly wrong on this issue. He's smartly wrong on it.
We'll keep it on another day for debate.
No, but you see, the way I can have you a problem with you. Mounting is
no. Let me tell you the way you determine. Lastly, the way you determine. Lastly, let me just make no, Sylvester. It's a dialogue, Sylvester. The way you determine if someone is smart or not by credential, is by what a person has said and what came through. If Badi Colley went and saw Barker as this person who would deliver Liberia, this person with all this conviction, and he's been proven wrong, that means he's not smart enough.
But then if that is the barometer, then I mean
that's the standard all around the world. That's the
barometer, then I mean if you see
that's the standard. No. That's the standard for you.
So
for
guys,
you
I need to make
your predictions.
Alice Jones came in. So
I
think Tomlin George raised an important issue. But before I address that issue, let me just make a few comments quickly. First, on the audit issue, when I served at the Ministry of Labor, I served there from 2006 to 2011. Go to GSC website.
Wow,
all of the in fact, I used to think that the Ministry of Labor, why were they auditing us like that? Because we're not even generating income. Maybe because of the size of the ministry is a small ministry and was easy to audit. Auditors were there every fiscal year, okay, including even the time John Molu was at GSC. Auditors came there. I remember when we had, I'm not going to call it minister, one other minister came there, and the auditors, GSC even sent Dex auditors to sit at the ministry, because they felt that minister was a high risk, because the minister has maybe serving all the ministry before coming there to even monitor.
They got give you.
How can they been a high risk and they keep the person that stay?
No, because they don't have the appointing power.
Let me explain this. GSC had Dex of audit, all of the quite continuous audit. All of the government ministries.
The actual
Ministry of Labor. Go ahead.
Even though we have internal auditors, but GSC had a continuous audit in the building.
Yes, all over continuous audit.
So I'm just telling you.
What a job the AAR, how do you call that?
The IA.
The IA. What a job.
That's
so they quickly the IA responsibility. The reason why they brought it was
that's internal control mechanism.
It was even the auditor general, the former auditor general that advanced this process, right? So now sometimes what you do, you don't always need the external auditor to come in. Before the external auditor can come in, you have what we call the internal management control. They come and help you fix problem, bring system into place.
Oh, that the job my member doing, right? Or Yiswa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me
tell you. Sometimes even they prevent fraud and abuse even. Because the agent is there to approve something when you want to say no, you can't do it.
If they are cited, if they are cited, you know, not just
go ahead. Go ahead.
That's what we're meant for. But if they were actually cited and efficient, then we'll not have all this one. We'll have got all the agencies got internal auditors, you know. Wow. So let's leave that one side. Liberia is just Liberia.
Yeah,
so on your concern, Alice Jones, when I served at the Ministry of Labor, we're audited throughout every time. Okay, and unfortunately, you haven't served in public service. I will give them 1 minute education here. I did ministry. All the ministry.
You can be president.
I gotta respond for him. I gotta respond for him.
So let me just talk. Don't mind the side talk. There are all the listeners listening to all. They need to learn this.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chief.
You know, under the new regime in the country, under LM Johnson, the reform was you have PPCC, then you have the PFN. You know, so it was recommended in the law. In fact, it's in the law that every ministry will have a procurement committee, you have a bid evaluation committee, you have budget and finance committee, and those committees are chaired by head of entity. So if it is a ministry, the minister is a chair. So the minister cannot exonerate himself or herself and say, I will deputize that process to these people, because if anything goes wrong by law, you are the head of that committee. You are held accountable, right? So then step down. All the different heads of the different units within the ministry, they are also member of the budget and finance committee. They are, they are also member of the senior management team. But at the Ministry of Labor, I was Assistant Minister for Research and Statistics. So at the ministry, administration activities are under the Deputy for Administration, Assistant Minister for Administration, where you have budget, procurement, all that under there. So we in statistics, we are more of collecting data. We don't even see procurement document. We don't see voucher.
So at that time, who was the minister? Minister and deputy when you were there?
Yeah, Minister Kofi.
I'm not going to call all the deputies' names because there were different deputies. So, but that's not a discussion. I'm just trying to give education.
Kofi, but you're talking about accountability and transparency. Why you don't want to open up?
He asked for deputy, man.
So is Kofi an honest person?
Yeah, he's an honest person.
So excuse me. Is Kofi,
I like that.
Kofi is not involved in corruption, right? He's not a corrupt person.
Well, I can't. You see, Tom, we are dynamic.
Public work ministry. Public work ministry.
So Kofi,
I didn't work with him at Public work ministry. So I can't speak for Public work ministry.
But I'm not
with him at the executive mansion, so I can speak for him at the executive.
I can
speak for labor. Yeah, I can speak for labor.
You see, that's what I'm talking about. When it came to Jeremiah Kong, he's quick to say, even though he didn't work with Jeremiah Kong,
yes,
Jeremiah Kong a king come for corruption. But when it comes to Kofi Woods, then he has
woman.
Oh no!
No, yeah. Then he has
the bias. And you say what I'm talking about.
Alex, let me tell you. Listen to yourself. You don't telescope complex issue into one. You usually run into intellectual confusion on this show. When you do that, let's separate the issue. I said clearly, I work with Kofi Woods at the Ministry of Labor. I can speak for that because it's evidential. I have experience with him, right? I didn't work with him at Apollo Works. So if you talk about issues that somebody may have with him at Apollo Works, I can speak for that. I'm not with him at the executive mansion.
So
as a Liberian, just as a Liberian, do you think Kofi Woods is
correct?
What grade you give Kofi?
Let's go back to the genesis. When I spoke on this issue, I was very clear and emphatic and used Alex Jones. When Jeremiah Kuhn published his asset declaration, you are one of the finance person. You look at it. You saw the money and the asset he has accumulated in 12 years. You saw it. More than $30 million worth.
I didn't need that. I didn't need that to determine that all of the representatives and senators are corrupt and all of the government officials are corrupt. I don't need that. It's clear.
But Alex, so I just want to be clear on this. So let us not telescope complex issue, distinct issue into one. Then you run into intellectual confusion. I just want to give that caution here. So the issue I was trying to give here is to just educate and say, look, I did different ministries. There are different departments. The department in all of the ministry that are involved in procurement and financial issue, that's the department administration. Not all the other departments. They deal with vendors. They deal with and in government. Those are the two areas that corruption are likely to occur. I'm not saying corruption not happen in other units because some ministry got more units than other ministry, right? But administration that deals with finance and procurement, those are the two areas. And that's where the concentration has always been in fighting corruption. Okay. So that's this show was now for I just want to provide.
Okay, guys. There's something trending, right? The national budget. It was just discovered that $20 million that was tampered with. But now what we're hearing now is that I want you guys to give your views. What if it's a game? We first said that when the budget went to the executive, they said, "Oh, the lawmakers they put $200 million in the budget for certain things. They want to find out who put that money there." But what we're hearing today is that they're using the word it will misalign. So now they are trying to say that.
And I suggested this.
And what they are doing, they are sending the surrogates there. You hear the surrogates there on Viral Talk Show now saying, "Oh no, nothing happened." just that the money will be redirected. I mean, you're talking of language now. But guys, within yourself, you know something happened. These guys, then this is what they have been doing over the years. Put money in the budget.
For people, there's no court convention. So
then they go to work, and then the money is redirected to them. Come back to.
We just right now you come to court issue
So
again.
I don't know.
I
What do you think happened? With that $20 million I put in the budget, what do you think happened?
Something here is what I would say.
Yeah.
This is how we started the show when P. Ballet was here. We have nowhere to carry our complaint to. I think Ellis Jones started that prior. Currently in the legislature, Prince Moi, Jeremiah Kuhn, Thomas Fowler, Abachi, you got these guys. They still have their stranglehold on the budget. There is a reason why Teneb and Bronsky or whoever has been deputy minister for budget from what? 20 whatever to this person.
She's serving we are government in the capital.
Yeah. Nobody removes her. There's a reason. And the bikers are in the legislature. They are not in the executive mansion. Her bikers are in the legislature. And there is a reason. And nobody, now I can't say anything because people say no or court conviction here. So I will just leave it there because people say, more wait for the court to convict people before we know that Liberia is corrupt. There's no corruption in Liberia. There's no court conviction. Even though the
budget.
Come again.
Who put $20 million in the budget? Who put up $20 million?
Yeah, what I predicted the last time we were on the show when I was talking about this process about this $20 million.
I hope there was court conviction on that.
I said very clearly that you try to bamboozle the whole process now, and I don't think you're going to succeed in doing that. If you have succeeded on other intervention, you want it to see along this path. But yes, what I said basically, I said this thing's going to draw down to the process about mixed alignment in the budget. It has happened before. People looking at alarm attempts and shifting this from this side and that side. Now, there may be a reasonable cost to believe that. There may be a reasonable cost to do that in terms of misaligned budget allocation, all of things. There may also be some fictitious thought process behind the process about them calculating, doing that, and then using it as a skip route to justify whatsoever may have happened. That's what I said. Two things I suggested, and that where we are now. Now, the process about if they misalign those things, where were those line items? We can establish and come to a conclusion quickly on that process. One thing I learned from John Molu was that if people are aligned budget, you have to focus first, what's the intent of the alignment and where are those areas the budget is focused on? Now, those areas they're trying to focus on, they're kind of confused to say it was misappropriating those line items. Are they poverty tracking area to alleviate poverty? Are those areas directed to, for instance, goods and services? Are they going to move? They're moving towards salary payment also? Were they part of a contingency plan to say this is what we're going to build the budget up to? So we have to be critically mindful as to how we intend to do this investigation, and we're going to come up with this line. Now, that's a wonderful escape route anyone want to come up with. Was the intent, was it an intentional process as to say it, or was a genuine mistake? If those mistakes were there's a way we can uncover those mistakes. We can go through the budget process very critically and begin to analyze, say, this process was misaligned and we misaligned. Now, for instance, there was this budget line appropriating for wire school payment. And then you have something for wire school payment, you see there, then you have issue for the Ministry of Education for instructions. Now, there's a logical way we can move to that and see the two.
Listen, maybe you're not an accountant, okay, or you're not a financial person. That's the definition of misappropriation. Misappropriation is corruption.
And that's what I told you last
time. No, call your CDC financial people.
I'm trying to explain to the people.
We understand that, but let me try to explain this to
the folks where the thing is coming from. If those cannot
when you take money for one item and you move it to something else, whether it's for good or for bad, that is called misappropriation. Misappropriation is a form of corruption.
We can recast budget.
No. The budget has miscellaneous. Listen, there are items where it's a miscellaneous, which means the minister can use it at their discretion. But if something is allocated that pass through the legislator, once the budget is signed, let's say the budget is signed for you to buy this phone, And you
But
didn't buy the
you
phone. You went
again,
buy.
this
You
person,
bought.
we
Listen
get
now.
bash at the problem about what the budget.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
You
but
don't understand yet.
but Pee Wee, Alex and
He's
Kelebo.
not understanding. That's the
But
problem.
yeah, the thing
Yeah,
was,
not me signing
honestly,
the law.
right?
You got to understand. Yeah, go ahead.
If the money was discovered by the executive branch, so now if President Boga want to prove that he's the leader of that he's with his he's really been sincere. Two things he can do: either he sign the budget or he veto against it. Either I will veto
Exactly.
it.
No,
Yeah,
you,
you know,
for
veto
now,
and
for
say
now, for
he can
now,
veto
for
and say
now.
President
no,
Boga signed.
No, you can
say
veto
no,
it. You can veto it for now. What you can do? You can veto it for now to bring
No,
back blood. What he can do for now?
Pee Wee.
No, what he can do for now? He can send it back to them.
No, Pee Wee. No, Pee Wee. If he want the tenant said,
No,
look,
make a necessary correction and send it back to them.
okay, then if they come back to him the same way with the against justify
Then he
money,
veto it.
veto the budget.
Yeah,
and people say I will not sign it.
Yeah,
But
but
again,
the best way for the sake of prudence in the bureaucratic relationship between the both branches, what he will have to do for now, he will ask the Minister of Finance people to go through the budget,
Exactly.
relook at the budget, and then all those line items that are conflicting and you don't believe in them, you cross them out and send it back to them.
And send
And
it
with,
back.
only,
And it will-
and with a transmission note to them indicating your reason of doing those things, right? And then if they act on it the same way, then now you can veto it again. And when you veto it again, if they are in alignment again, the problem there is if the both houses send it back to TER, then it passes into law.
yeah, but no, let's keep an eye on it because from what we're hearing, the surrogates are not saying, oh no, the money will be put towards some legislative something they're gonna do. And look, it's just sad. It's sad. It's very sad that we keep on playing with the people's lives.
Yeah, you know,
and nothing happening.
It's wrong. And I thought we have to
Impunity
change
just
those things.
impunity,
Yeah.
culture of impunity continue to exist in our country.
Yeah.
Nothing happening. And right now, look, honestly, if President Boga was really serious about the reality, I will fight this thing. He will audit the Ellen government and we are government together. I mean, the audit reports, I will implement everything. Go for it and see whether. And if that is done, half of the people in the government today, they will resign because they will be caught.
No, if President Boga would audit the heading and we are government together, then he will be indicting himself also.
But forget the Ellen government. Let him start with his own government for the last 6 months. The inaugural funds.
You
know what I mean? Start with your own government
Yeah.
now.
What became the inaugural fund? So that I won't have the hope.
Yeah, they got the hope.
First time in my life.
Who am I from that?
You know, start with things like receiving gifts.
At the administration, that you'll be indicting yourself. So I will tell Toka to make it as a news alarm.
Yeah, so look, President Boga is not serious. He was never serious. This is just going to be a Sharia. I agree with you, Timothy. Nothing's going to happen. And this guy just going to walk away with millions and millions of dollars. And then 2029 beyond, they'll come back and give you another story. And you will be foolish enough to buy the story again. That's what's been happening. That's what will continue to happen until Liberia gets a serious president that will start from in his own administration first on day one. Start putting people in your government in jail first for corruption. Somebody goes and takes a loan that was not authorized, you fire them and you prosecute them. Then before you can go and say you're going to go to another government. That's the way you do. Start with yourself, within your own, administration. Look at his administration, how dysfunctional they are. Look at how many missteps, how many misappropriations. Look at the road fund, $20-something million. Why you don't prosecute the Minister of Public Works? Why they don't carry on a real investigation and find out where that money went? So it's a joke. It's a waste of time. That's why I don't even participate in those discussions.
So Pee Wee, the new American ambassador presented a letter of credence last week. So what you make of his comments? I think I heard him say he will visit through. He will be going through the country or so forth. What do you think the relationship between the U.S. government? I mean, right now in a transition now because President Biden is more like a lean dog president heading into an election year, and we don't know what will happen on November 6th, November 5th. But what do you think about Ambassador Turner? And then as soon as he arrived, the next thing we hear, they suspend the visa services. They're going through a third party, all kinds of stuff happening. I mean, what do you make? know, in
I think-
diplomacy, you guys
Yeah.
can hide. They hide things there.
Exactly, and again, in diplomacy again, we follow what we signal is very important. Like other things, like if, for instance, the medical doctor will say to you, if malaria is coming, it start with fever, right? You test your child's skin, feel the skin warm and chill coming. So malaria is coming in. So this kind of line diplomats that they call for major concern, the fact that those things happen, and they came out to say it's true on a process, a global process, to try to refit some of those things. But the process about the U.S.-Liberia relationship, it's a relationship that has gone very many years, many decades, basically. And one thing they will always say to you, our relationship has gone to a different chapter, and the rest of it is solid, and that relationship has persisted for many decades, if you will. But the process about what is unfolding, they will begin the process of the fact that he delayed in coming, he's not into the country, and what unfolded the last time for the Sargé affair, Catherine Rodriguez, to walk out of the July 26th celebration or program when the national orator was in speech. That's a very serious concern we have here. And I would want the administration to tap into that and start to engage with the new ambassador to see where we can move to discuss things. But we shouldn't overlook this process, because now, if the United States can give other countries that they won't boast of having traditional relationship with, and there's strategic way they refer to our country. They say we have a traditional and strategic relationship with Liberia, and the reason they say that is because the D of our country, when they allow the slave, when they purchased that place to allow to negotiate with the locals, to allow the free slaves to leave from here, and the negotiation was done through the American Colonization Society to move into Liberia, that D of that country is here in the United States.
Oh, really?
Yes, the D of our country is situated here in the United States. Many Liberians wouldn't know this. I will hope for many of us to read.
So what is it? So which part of
it should be in one of the archives in Texas or so. I was just need to get the real cities in, but the D is here. When the American Colonization Society, then a private organization, pushed for this process, because the whole thing, the abolition of slavery, when it all coming out at the time, when the people came about that 25th Amendment process to do this issue, they said they didn't need it again. They were fine, they were struggling. That's kind of society came out and said, oh, we can find places. They started going about places, and they formed that great land, that sweet land of liberty. And all those folks sail it along, and some people got killed along the line. Our history will teach all those things. But, and part of the process of saying that, the nephew, and not only the nephew of this society, we started going through the process of naming. If you saw the process of how we name our capital city, Monrovia, it was named after the 5th president of the United States, James Monroe. Go back to most of the processes of our naming our different streets. One of the nephew of the former president, also Monroe, was named. So we went through all of those processes. Edward Buchanan, how we named the city, the capital city of Grand Bassa County. So they got huge influence. It's just like the way we engaged the president, and we're part of the frustration of the orator when she spoke the way she did. I wouldn't have sounded that way, because America have done too much for us also, right? We, as the people of the country, we need to prioritize. It's not America that didn't teach us to connect our 43,000 square mile country via quota. No, it's a failed leadership process here. But the reason why many people will be frustrated on that process, because they believe since that time, we've had a wonderful relationship with America. Madam Sir even referred to it as strategic partner. Strategic partner. And they themselves will refer to it this way. So the new Turner.
Closing now, because I think it just
no, there's not my closing. There's not my closing.
Let me ask
when you there's not, I think interrupting me is not a good thing. I would like you to come in, please listen to what I'm trying to say. So the strategic nature between our two countries, my brother, is such that we ourselves need to leverage it as a country. Now, our America major foreign policy tools here they can leverage is to put sanctions. What we need to do now to leverage so that America can begin to look at us in a strategic way is to put ourselves in a geopolitical line that will help our country also begin the process of having wonderful negotiation with America. It's important. If we don't do that, what's going to happen is that our official will always be sanctioned. We will always be intimidated. Our citizens will always not have the opportunity to have, because other countries that don't have strategic relationship with America, they give them another 2, 3, 4, 5-year visa. We still struggling to even maintain the 1 year, the 12-month visa, and that process is very restrictive.
But Kelebo, when the Minister of Foreign Affairs, I think was during the time they appointed the Minister of Foreign Affairs, during the confirmation hearing, I think some senators said that one of the issues they said that they hope she will look into, that the days of America denying official government visas, she should look into it and see whether she could bring an end to it, where the Liberian government feel that they have been disrespected, that they go for the visa, they give them 1 month, we give them restrict them, some of them they just deny them. I mean, depending on whoever you are, they deny you. And what you think she will still make the inroads to with the new ambassador, and then come to Washington D.C. and meet with some of the people at the State Department to say, look, this is our issue. You think they will happen, or maybe after the election?
I don't think the foreign minister of Liberia has any influence over the U.S. or foreign policy on visa. You must know the State Department does set the policy.
So people let me say this: you can use your position as Minister of Foreign Affairs. They got something in diplomacy called reciprocity.
Yes,
that's something in diplomacy called reciprocity. So you can go ahead on that. You can use that process very well. As the foreign minister, you can leverage that appropriately and discuss with them. And that's how Ghana went through. That's how Gambia went through, and other countries, Somalia went through also. Their foreign ministry were very engaged and use that process and move on.
You know, Kelebo, before you speak,
let me say this.
Okay, Kelebo, before you speak, Kelebo, let me say something. You know, I remember it was in the 90s during the interim government. We're in Nigeria. One with this university group in Nigeria, ISEC. While we're there, we met that time. This guy was Minister of Foreign Affairs, the late Bargus Matthews. So we're there when this guy told the story. Isbona Formula G. He said they had a problem. They had two government Liberia, the MPRAG of Taylor and IGNU of President Sawyer. So Liberia should have were invited at the United Nations General Assembly, but it's an invitation to the both president, to MPRAG and to IGNU. So Sawyer felt that it wasn't right. He should be the one representing Liberia. So what happened was, he dispatched this guy. He dispatched Barkus to Washington. But now, at that time, when Barkus was foreign minister during dual administration, this guy who was Secretary General of the UN at the time, Boutros Ghali, he was foreign minister of Egypt. So when Barkus came to Washington, he met with this guy, with Boutros Ghali. He said, look, you can't send invitation to Taylor and to Sawyer. It doesn't look, it's not right. So Boutros Ghali said, all you do, you pay some of your arrears, and Emma Sawyer will be representing Liberia. He said, Bargus Matthews said he stood right in the guy suite and called Sawyer Moose, right? Moose. He said he called Moose and said, Moose, guess what? You'll be representing Liberia at the General Assembly. Only you can pay some fees. And he just contacted this guy, Francis Capet, the Minister of Finance, sent some money to Washington, to New York, to pay some arrears, and Moose will be on a trip to represent Liberia. So what people are saying, that kind of relationship is good, you know. That reciprocity is very good. But go ahead. You muted.
I think it's a little more than that. Because even under Charles Taylor, I think visa fee, application fees would be like $35 or $30 around that time. So maybe Taylor government was trying to raise money, so they increased the visa fee for the American citizen to $100. Once they did it, the American government also raised their visa fee to $100. So when people started to complain, I remember Sarah Morrison was the director of the USAID at the time.
You say,
She explained, I was there. She explained, she said, look, we don't control this because American citizens pay $100, Liberian citizens have to pay $100 to apply for visa. So that's it's tit for tat on those things. So it's possible. The other thing is because Liberia raised money on the visa thing. So we got people here who is former assistant minister of foreign affairs maybe you can explain that. Do you guys have 1 year, 2 years, 3 year, 5 year visa category for American citizens?
No, we don't have this.
Those who have that,
It's the
we're
same.
not having for your citizen
Yeah,
too.
that's why I said reciprocity.
So,
They said that.
so
Yes, it's
until
the
the
same.
government moves to that level to say, well, this is what we'll do. The American government will
To
treat
tell you, Congolo, what Hollywood doing nothing at our foreign affair there.
You better get joined the thing.
How can I have term for visa for people coming in your country?
You gotta raise some money
They
so
got
they
money
don't
to do that. Mr. Gongo, please go ahead. Gongo say something. Gongo say something very important.
Nothing
I
over
like that. Wait, yeah, Gongo, continue, please. Wait, man, what are you saying here? Gongo, go ahead. Because what Mr. Gongo said quickly just now is important, right? And he struck a point. Let me confess. The reason we don't want to carry that way because we won't make money. But you carry the 3
I
years.
know this. We gotta use start to raise money.
Right.
So wait, so there's no record of Liberia denying American official visa before. We can deny the visa too.
No, sir.
Absolutely no record.
What's that?
Oh,
listen, Tony, I comment, you know what, Tony? I comment on the former foreign minister, current senator, who on the plane. I said, Mr. Minister, I said, you know, I asked him, I said, but then when we will start denying Ghana, he said, "My one, you know, it's serious. Let me hear serious, right? We don't already have that of American want to come to our country. The few won't come, and you will deny them. That was
the Liberian American and women deny them visa.
No, you can't even deny a Liberian American again. Because in Liberian, you know that Liberian, right? You see the name, you know that Liberian. So you get a bit of them. So, but
basically, Pee-wee, let me help you here.
But both of those are stick visa to go to Liberia,
application process. No, hold on, let me help you here. Visa application process, and they allow all the Americans to come.
You don't even let me talk to finish my talk.
Why come again?
Shut down your visa, quote unquote, visa application process, and people can just go online or just come. Because if you're not going to deny anybody, what's the point of wasting time and resources? That would be the economically sound thing to do.
But you
get American passport, you can enter the country.
Let me logic all of this now quickly before I go.
Yeah.
Why you think the Americans are denying us visa often? Just quick. Why you think? In 2 seconds.
Well, fraud, number one. Two, financial. Hold on now. Financial. The person inadequate financially to sustain themselves in America.
No, so you missed the two. You missed the two. The reason why they deny our visa because they believe that we'll not go back.
Okay.
That's the primary reason.
Now, but that's still fraud.
Yeah. So
I disagree. So if I'm an elected official, I'm a cabinet, I'm a member of I'm a appointed official.
No. The elected official is basically when there's a problem in the country. When it happens with you. If it don't happen with you, if you are in government, will give you visa.
Yeah, because I'm coming on stay there.
No, they're not denying government official visa. Whenever you hear they denying certain government official visa, they have issue with you.
Also, so the few days they deny our visa will come for the 26 program to come be guest speaker here. What they did it for?
Who are they government officials?
Elected officials and appointed officials deny visa.
Then they got some issue with either with the individual or with the government.
With the project power, they have to get issue already.
Of course, they will have issues. They got different. They determined that they will have issues. They will not explain those things to you.
Some of the people who just took power, they were serving in previous government, they were serving in the legislature, and they are staying in the legislature.
Exactly. Okay? So they will have issues.
The records are there. So, and part of the thing is that, be fair, there are some people who either they were represented and they went to the embassy and vouched for their family to come to the US, and their family never returned. I know few examples like that, and these people cannot come on visitor visa anymore because that's how their family also came and stay. So for them to come, they either have their family have to fight for them to come as immigrant. Okay, that's the only way. So all these things are there, and it's a hidden closet. It's a hidden skeleton in a closet. They don't talk about it publicly, you know. But the good thing the American embassy does is they protect this information. The only way we know is that the Liberian at the foreign ministry who can handle this document, they can come and say, oh, they deny our how the information can leak out. So they will not say deny, it was just the administrative process.
But you from honestly, no, that's not fair.
Once they say administrative process, it means that administrative process looking for clearance from State Department, you know, and that's it.
Okay, you know, we're watching next month, United Nations General Assembly. President Barack coming to the General Assembly. And I know there will be a lot of people coming on that trip, but I will see who will deny the visa again.
They don't have money.
No, so the United Nations General Assembly process is going to be this way.
Different.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs will have our representation.
Okay.
It is because the UN, America, there's this.
Because that area is for United Nations. Even
the second state of us meeting here is the global.
But the state denied visa because of the UN Assembly.
Yes, they did that. Yes, they did that. And
even Muammar Gaddafi used to get visa to come. So
to deny
official government are coming with the president.
At the time, no, it's difficult. No, the U.S. can be strategic in how they engage the process. To deny folks visa because during the United Nations General Assembly, for instance, there are institutions they focus on. For instance, the first line of representation is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It's our global representation hub. They move in to represent the country. Now, and then the next line of representation they're going to focus on also is going to be the presidency. Now, there are other institutions of government, there are other government organs that will have to be part of the representation body. For instance, the Ministry of Information will have to come to report happenings here in New York. The Ministry of Gender will have to be part of the gender process. The UN take into consideration key on gender issue. The Ministry of Gender will be represented. The Ministry of Finance will be represented because we have all of the committees. We have up to the 4th committee, the 6th committee, the different committees will be represented on different UN organs. So as they would deliberate on issues concerning the global body before they come up with a 100% resolution on what the theme of that section is. Now, this is going to be the 79th General Assembly coming September. And that General Assembly will start at sometime around 17th of September, thereabout, moving up to November, late November, December for different deliberative bodies on all the committees. They had to make up the
question is, Sylvester. I got a question for you, Sylvester. Can the U.S. deny any official that is attending the UN General Assembly meeting? That's the question.
Now, if that official is key, now the U.S. again, and let me emphasize here, the U.S. also got rights to determine who's going to come into their country, granting visa. But if it is the General Assembly, it's difficult for, he says, to deny someone come from the General Assembly, even if the U.S. sanction you, they will have to give you visa to come to the General Assembly because this is the global.
Okay, so they cannot deny somebody who's coming to the General Assembly. Okay.
Yes. Now, here's what I'm going to do quickly. Let me inform the public on this. Yeah. That's the one they're going to limit you. You can request, and they will say they will give you. You cannot leave 15 miles away from the General Assembly. Meaning, because it's around there on 5th Avenue coming down to the General. Now you can travel around that whole down Manhattan area. Can you leave to come into Jersey or Trenton or move to come into certain area? Can you move to go into the Bronx? The Bronx, how many miles away from there? So that's the limitation. So from JFK to the UN, and that's equivalent length, they limit you there. So
you know. Let me tell you one fun. I won't call the person name, right, because the person is still around. There was one time one president came to the General Assembly. So and they pursue official government. I think they get a restriction about to not leave certain mile radius of the assembly. So was somewhere to one party drinking. So apparently somebody preached the person said, "Oh, they not tell the person." Look, they got
because when you violate it, they can't give you that no more.
Yeah, it's a my man. Somebody not tell the person you wait person video. He said, "What you?"
He crossed the line. He crossed it.
I said, what happened? He said, "My man, Joji, I beg you, yeah. Who the guy embarrassed?"
Yeah, he crossed it big time.
But I expect to see a lot of those who are denied. I expect to see them on this trip in September.
But one of the questions, gentlemen, one of the best things to do is we need to engage, and we need to have a very, very charismatic Minister of Foreign Affairs, a minister that engaging, a multi-purpose minister with hand on decks, and trying to move up the base of the foreign ministry. If you engage the State Department very effectively, engage the ambassador and his staff very effectively, America is a very good country. It's a country that respects the rule of law, and human rights. It's a big country. It's the most powerful country in the world. And our ties with them before have been very wonderful. We subsisted over a period of years. So we need to engage with them, make the case with them, and understand that here's what we do. We need to communicate and be very effective in interacting with America. Any attempt to keep the government system to be incommunicado of the USA is a very dangerous precedent.
Wow.
We don't want to do that. We should shift the line diplomatically. The public diplomacy line should be very proactive. And in doing that, you have to engage and have different type of diplomatic intercourses with that of the.
I got another question for Sylvester. Sylvester, at your time at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, did you guys engage like the Russian and the Chinese and other countries that are not allies of the United States? And if you did, what were the procedures?
Yes, Liberia is free to have relationship. Liberia is a sovereign country. And I will say this again: the sovereignty. I work on that thing about sovereignty. I did it in most of my political science courses.
It's taking too long. Just answer the question. Do you engage Russia and other countries?
Liberia is a sovereign country, so Liberia we have a diplomatic relationship with Russia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have a diplomatic and we have a bilateral relationship with Russia.
So we have an ambassador in Moscow. Are you saying we have currently?
No, we don't have an ambassador in Moscow. We have ambassadors that have concurrent responsibility over Moscow. But yes, what I will say to you. When Russia organized the Africa-Russian Summit, was it 2019 that about? They invited
we didn't go to that summit.
Yeah, and again, it's part of the strategic vision you leverage. Right? We had representation. I can recall we had representation there in that meeting. The Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs for International Cooperation, Abraham Korva, represented Liberia in that meeting.
Yeah, but that was a head of state invitation, right?
Yeah, so but that way you have to be strategic when you play the kind of politics.
What strategic? You chicken out.
The government are more strategic.
That's all. That's basically your scared. In trouble, you get sovereignty, then you can go visit another.
Let me share one for you about a pass now. I can recall at the time we at the ministry, there was a time most of the ambassadors were coming through to present their credentials.
Yeah.
Even non-resident ambassadors, some of them that were resident in Accra. So that they came, a lot of ambassadors are coming. Most of them are coming from Accra to come. I had concurrent over the bureau, they were resident in Accra, but oversight in the bureau also.
Yeah.
This day came all of the people, all of different countries are coming. When we look, the next person that was on the list, and I saw the list, and I presented this. When I saw the name, I said, hey, they all be choke. When I look, I saw Iran ambassador. They're already in the country. In the holding room. In the holding room to kind of present. Yeah. The minister, so when the guy said nothing, the place doesn't know. Nobody can say the kind of when they didn't know that the man was on it. I don't know how to put that man on the son and make him there. But unfortunately for him, the minister didn't see him that day.
Oh
yes. They didn't see him. You have to be strategic. And
he's not scared.
As the former president of our country said before.
Okay, so let me ask you another question.
You have to
let me ask you another question.
Is our basic ally. We have to respect
okay,
it.
so
if I one of those
that respected that
and supported that.
Go, yeah.
Anybody that gives America for me, we cannot be close to them. No, I don't support that.
Sylvester,
if I'm president of the bureau, anybody that gives America, I can't get a relationship with you.
Okay, Sylvester, is it Liberia official foreign policy to not deal with any countries that is in conflict with the United States?
No, that's not our policy. Our policy, our official foreign policy instrument mechanism is a non-interference process. That's our official foreign policy. The doctrine of non-interference. The element of non-interference. So it's not our business. But again, it's just like somebody will tell you, say, you have to leverage.
But Chuchu, you remember when
so it's not our official foreign policy, no.
When those say
it's non-interference. Non-interference.
With Gaddafi, right?
Yeah, he said I took him a ta. I rather beat the guy. He said I rather beat that guy.
No, but Chuchu want to see answer that question is not interference.
Like Gaddafi said, you try it, we'll hold you hostage here.
Yeah, it's not interference. We shouldn't interfere in nobody thing. Our friend. I will also every country. But
that'd be a good show, man. That
I will quickly say to you, the guys something they call in diplomacy called the arm twisting diplomacy. The guys with the biggest pocket, the deepest pocket, can twist your arm.
Yeah,
so you have to read that.
They do it at the UN when they're doing voting.
That arm twisting diplomacy. Yeah, so that is obvious. But you started.
Just before we go, I mean, one minister told us, he said, He said there are some votes that are very, very, you gotta be very careful with some votes at the UN. He said, but if you know that your vote will anger America, what you do?
You
become a- He said no. He said you be a no call, no show. So then you don't show up.
But I not you abstain.
No, you still. I mean, you there, but you say you're not voting.
No. When you abstain, I mean, they sure you didn't go there to vote. You didn't go there to
Oh,
vote.
really? So when they call Liberia, and Liberia, our flag there. If you stay behind our flag, if you
you're not there.
Vote,
You're not there. Yeah, you're not there. Yeah, that's one of the best way to do it. But again, part of the process quickly, you saw what happened in the last time, and that one of the issues that we saw our relationship with China today.
Yeah.
When the Kenya administration decided to vote against China on this issue about human rights thing, the Chinese got mad and they took it personal, and that's why they didn't do nothing new ever since that happened. He said diplomacy is very key.
Yeah. So first off, so what was Louis Brown recall?
I think the president office will answer that question. I don't know. Well, one thing I know very clearly that I know very clearly I did a release. That saying that we put a release on. I did a release. I was called that morning by my boss man, the foreign minister Bernard Garfini, instructing me that to do a release. The ambassador to the UN and being called by the president.
So you didn't ask any question. Why is this man being recalled?
It's not my prerogative to ask.
So you don't have staff meetings. You don't have discussion.
You can't. Is the president right? Listen now.
What kind of government you guys are running?
That thing you don't understand. The president right to recall.
But I would think the president or the minister will have discussion with his foreign relations team.
Why was this guy recalled too? Why was our man at the US? What's his name? Patrick.
Now, so again, the recall process is the prerogative of the president. But basically, it's the prerogative of the president. But in some cases, sometimes when things unfold, you start hearing different things. But I believe Patton and Kenya, the foreign minister, they didn't have a very good relationship. And it is established that the foreign minister was behind his recall. So a lot of things unfold.
I'm hearing that the ambassador to the European Union and with residents in Brussels.
Yeah, he
may recall my friend and brother will be going there. Josh Solo will be going.
No, it's not Josh Solo. Josh Solo. They cannot deploy Josh Solo in that strategic. That's a major multilateral assignment.
Oh, but I mean, Josh Solo determined. Josh Solo said that where you going?
Former representative.
I would predict they will send anybody where they will be.
Is that former representative?
I think it will be
Josh Solo, that former CDC chairman.
I think it will be Josh Patton and Josh Solo. Josh Patton will be. It will rather be Josh. Mark my word. It would rather be Josh Patton. You can't send Josh Solo over there. He's a novice to diplomacy.
Now you think?
Oh no, I think you need a career. Listen, you need a career diplomat.
And yeah, sending our friend to Nigeria, to Lagos. You'll be to Nigeria, Togo, and Benin.
Who?
We concur. Yeah, you'll be accredited to Nigeria, Togo by concurrent accreditations in Togo, Benin, and Nigeria.
Who friend?
This guy. What the guy name? Formula.
But Formula is a diplomat par excellence.
Yes. That'll be a good.
He's a career diplomat.
That'll be a good one.
He's a very smart and professional and outspoken foreign policy individual. Formula representation at the level of Abuja, because that's a multilateral representation.
Yeah.
Is Abuja, apart from Abuja, I mean Nigeria as the capital, you have Nigeria, you have Cameroon, not Cameroon,
Togo.
Togo is Accra. The ambassador in Accra is Togo. You are assigned to Chad and other areas, and you also have the entire ECOWAS.
Let me ask you, Sylvester, before you go.
So Formula is a very wonderful. If he's appointed, trust me, it will allow him to do it. It will be a great representation. And I'm also hearing that Dr. Hassan Conte should be the one coming to the United Nations as our next ambassador.
Oh, the boy from there?
Oh yeah. Dr. Conte will be the that's what I'm hearing, and that would be a very wonderful.
Quick question here.
And then I would guess Josh Patton will go to Brussels.
I think so. They have appointed a new
president. Let me ask one more question here.
The new one,
as far as the representative to the
Dr. Conte is acting for now.
I know. I hear Josh Kier. Who they carry Josh Kier there?
Yeah. Come again.
Okay.
I said, who the
Let
care?
me ask you. Let me ask you a quick question, Sylvester. Now,
Yeah.
in terms of the representatives to the AU, I mean African Development Bank and UN, do these positions, these representatives, fall under the foreign ministry?
Come again?
So the AU representative, I know we
Uh-huh.
have people who work at those bilateral institutions like African Development Bank, you know, the trade organization, World Trade Organization, UN, not UN, but like African Development Bank, particularly. Do they fall under the ministry, the foreign ministry?
No, basically, yeah, they align, they interact with the foreign ministry on behalf. That's the line of contact in terms of diplomacy. Those institutions, the first line of contact is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. That's the first line of contact. So the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will have to coordinate with them. If any of them were to move to the country, the first credential will be given to, for those people who will give their credential directly to the Minister of Foreign Affairs in many cases, interact with him, and then the Minister of Foreign Affairs will.
I'm talking about like the quotas position. Like I know that certain organizations in Africa, that quotas, every country have to send a certain, even the UN. Those quotas position, like for instance, like I said, African Development Bank.
The foreign ministry can do that one. But our representative at the ACDB, they got that right now.
Yeah, but what I want to know, okay, look, California position now is a country representative. Was that recommendation coming from the government? Or?
No. CAFOM position, that those positions is a competitive vetting process. CAFOM may have gone through some competitive issues. No, that is not from the government of Liberia.
Man, that small man, you wreck our whole economy.
He wreck no economy.
One of the best man we have.
The worst finance minister in African history. I would debate him. Listen, I would debate him. I would listen. Hold on.
1 minute. No.
Put a challenge for him.
1 minute. I mean, you got to go there.
Listen to me. You don't know that. I would debate California. Listen now. I would debate California on any platform, on anything in finance.
You better stop it.
Anytime. The challenge is up. Tell him to come.
Let me say one to you.
I would stay clear. You are one of the worst Liberian finance minister.
Ellis, when Gab left the University of Liberia,
forget about credentials here. Performance.
I come in 1 minute. He went to the central bank. For the central bank,
and what you did with the central bank?
Based on that, Manasari appointed him director of the budget. When he served as director of the budget, Manasari, before Anthony Sayer left the country, Manasari have asked him to work along with Anthony Sayer. And Manasari asked Anthony Sayer, do you think he can be best suited to replace you while you're away? Anthony Sayer's recommendation was very strong. And that's why President Sadi moved to appoint Gav.
Okay. How did he perform there?
Gav is well intentional.
You saw that broad decline in GDP, that broad increase of inflation. That's what you call well.
And that's why now you can account with your
that's the thing. That's the thing where you're starting. Hold on. I don't understand, Timothy. I don't understand what you mean by well. Yes, the man is a smart man.
We gotta go.
Close, man. Close.
Okay, so my closing comment, yeah. I address this thing, yeah. Your side on this team. Listen now, hold on, yeah. Your analysts and your media people, the people listening to you guys. You sat here, you told us how wonderful Burka was and how wonderful we are was and all that kind of stuff. You've been proven wrong. Hold on. You've been proven wrong every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Then how will anybody listen to any recommendation where you say the other person is a smart person? You can't hear you say Burma Kamara was smart, Burma Kamara would do this, in the news where they say the man failed in terms of delivery. So you come on, you start this thing here when somebody has good grades in school, that means they're capable. That's my closing comments today, and that's where Liberia is the way it is.
I think we need to go quickly. Let me say this. Basically, Gav, Augustin Clay Gafwan, we call him Gav. I know him as a very young student graduate from high school, preparing to enter the University of Liberia. He was one of those that we admire from this time. And he's a very competent person. Apart from he being a full pointer at the University of Liberia, right? He's strictly very smart guy. In terms of partisan process, is very deeply engaged with those things, right? So he understands different government bureaucratic proceedings in terms of the economic policy, the accounting policy of our country, and basically he done extremely well for our country moving forward. I believe in his tenacity. I believe in his judgment. He's a focused person, a great person, and the rest of that. If he's appointed Minister of Finance, trust me, I will support that process. I would think he will be a very great addition to the country moving forward. Don't overlook him. He's one of those pressure elements we have in our country, and I believe and respect him. And I will pray to have as our Minister of Finance. He's one of the competent that we can watch for and all celebrate today. You don't sit over there and want to be taking your cigar thing when we're talking about one of our best in the country.
Yeah.
That's why you ran away from contesting the presidency of our country.
And Samuel Tuah was a very competent finance minister, and you proved to be wrong.
I salute I mean, I agree with you, your sentiments about him.
Yeah,
I respect a lot.
That's it. Yeah.
But guys, look, we had a great show. This week we will try our best. Look, Malusha will come. Malusha, his son is going through some medical something, so he won't be with us this week. Martin Colley will be joining us hopefully, and we'll try to get other initial transport. Ralph Tyler, he should be with us too. I know Public Minister said he was going to get back to me. We're trying to get some other people to engage them. But let's see what happens. We're trying to get the Minister of Still Portfolio. Mama got better. I know she will not appear, but we'll push it because you can't know you guys will run away for this from the platform. But we'll try. Well, Henry, what's up? Henry, any good news from Brian?
No, man.
Hey, man.
I was actually program. I messaged you. I sent you the message. Yeah, it was not successful. They posted again grant visa for such occasion at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's keep it
hope. Yeah, keeping the hope alive.
One day you see America.
I just saw it as an other challenge,
Yeah.
Even though I was broken, but yes.
Yeah.
Because the process is too long, getting from one stuff to another stuff.
Yeah, my
first
okay, guys. Thank you. We are seeking application for journalists from Liberia. We work for us argument our journalists in Liberia. Please send application to everybody. We want interview. Thank you, guys.
Good night. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello, Joe.
Good show. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.